A service of KIBMradio.com, the Internet's home for an all old-time radio.
Five bells. Stand by all stations.
Attention, all districts. A 5-alarm fire. 5 bells. Move in immediately.
That's it. Let's roll. Let's go. Firefighters.
Presenting Firefighters, the true-to-life story of our unsung heroes who stand ready to ride by day or night against our most murderous enemy, the demon of fire. In just a minute, we'll visit Engine Company 209, where Tim Collins, rookie fireman, is quartered when on duty. Tim has been on a special assignment by order of Chief Cody, but is on his way back to the fire station now. And before he gets there, we have time for this message. Let's go, firefighters. Let's go to the fire station where Engine 209 stands waiting for the next alarm. Gonigal, the driver, is grumbling to himself as usual as he polishes the fenders of the big engine. Hearing Gonigal's voice, Lieutenant Greenspan comes out of his office and calls,
Collins! That you, Collins?
Oh, it's just me, Lieutenant.
Where's Collins? Isn't he back yet?
Nope. I guess he's still with Chief Cody.
He's hoping the chief lets us have him back soon. You gotta do something about those grass fires.
You think Hooksy Collins can handle it?
Well, I'm hoping he can get hold of those kids.
I'd like to get hold of them. Burning off the grass in the vacant lots. Every day this week we've had a row because some kid got to playing with matches. There ought to be a law.
There is a law, but those youngsters never heard of it. That's why I hope Collins can get in touch with them.
Or maybe he'll catch a few and dust their jackets.
I don't know, Gonigal. Maybe that's the way to handle it, and maybe not.
Why don't you let me handle it, Lieutenant? I'd get me a big paddle. I'd go out in the lots where all these fires start. I'd take my paddle and I'd let the...
211! Box 211, Pearson Easy.
That's us, Gonigal.
Turn out your lazy bones. We roll.
Pearson Veazey. Sounds like another grass fire.
Hey, wait for me.
All right, hold it, Gonigal. Here comes Collins.
Reporting to duty, sir.
Just in time, Collins. Get up in that cab.
Yes, sir.
You man back there, all clear behind.
All clear.
All clear, Gonigal.
Move over, Hooksy. Leave room for the lieutenant.
Let's go. The same thing that's biting the whole company, Collins.
Box 211, that's the Green Hills district. Every run we make, it's always Green Hills.
Off the edge of town? Oh, what's the matter, Gonigal? Don't you like the great open spaces?
We're getting fed up with them, Collins. While you've been on special duty with Chief Cody, we've been running to grass fires every day.
Grass fires? Near those oil tanks?
That's right. Any day one of these fires might sweep up the hillside before we get there.
And touch off a few million gallons of oil and gasoline. Well, can't we head off those grass fires? Somebody's getting pretty careless.
Well, we're going to that later, Collins. When we get to the scene of the fire, keep a watch for a gang of boys. We got to get hold of them before Green Hills goes up in smoke.
As Engine 209 roars toward its destination in the Green Hills district, Chief Cody is checking on the alarm. Miles away, in his office at Fire Department headquarters, he studies a huge map of the city, quickly locates Box 211, and then reaches into his information file for a card. He shakes his head and calls out to his clerk in the outer office.
Glover, get me the records office on the inside line. Want the dope on what's going on out at Green Hills. Chief Cody, your records office? Yes, what reports do you have on oil and gasoline stored in those big tanks out at Green Hills? Oh, wait till I get a pencil. All right, go ahead. All storage tanks in use, huh? How many? Oh, 3 of the big oil companies. Right. Anything else? I mean, any other kind of supplies that might give us trouble? Unity Chemical Company, huh? Shed full of chemicals. What? No watchman. Won't they ever learn? No, that's all I want. I'm much obliged. Clover, give the garage a ring. I want my car. Going out to Green Hills. Got to look into this outbreak of grass fires before we have a situation out there we can't control.
And as Chief Cody makes ready for a fast run in his department car to the Green Hills district, where vast supplies of oil and gasoline are stored in huge black tanks among the open fields, Engine 209 pulls up at the scene of the fire, and Lieutenant Greenspan quickly sizes up the situation.
Yeah, just as I thought. Fire creeping across the vacant lots.
You want a line, sir?
No, we don't need a hose, Gallagher. You men back there, brooms and rakes.
At the upper end of the field, sir. Fire's almost reached that pile of brush.
Get the small extinguisher, Collins. We'll stop that fire before it gets into the brush and begins to leap up the hillside.
Yes, sir. Steve, unship that small extinguisher.
All right, you men, you know what to do. Take those brooms, get ahead of that flame, and beat it down.
There they are.
Good,
That gang of boys, Lieutenant, halfway up the hill.
Where? I don't see anybody.
They ducked out of sight behind that big shed. You want me to go up there, sir?
No. Stand by your engine. Watch them, but don't let them get the idea you're watching. You know what I mean?
I get it.
If we can identify one, we'll catch them all. Collins!
Ready, Lieutenant?
Let's go. We'll get ahead of the fire and stop it dead in its tracks.
Well, driver, where's your company officer?
Huh? There he is up there, Chief Cody.
Oh, it's you, Garnigle. First time I ever caught you asleep on the job.
Not me, Chief Cody. I was just concentrating. You know, concentrating?
On what? What are you squinting for?
For trying to see out of the corner of my eyes, Chief. I'm concentrating on that shed up there. Don't look now.
Garnigle, are you getting funny in the head?
Me, sir? No, sir, no more than usual. The lieutenant, he told me to watch that shed. There's a gang of boys, Chief.
Gang of boys, so that's it.
Yes, sir. We keep getting these alarms for grass fires, Chief, and all the time there's a gang of boys hanging around. Only they don't hang so close that you could get your hands on them.
They've taken cover behind that shed?
That they have, sir. Whisked out of sight soon as we got here. But I've been watching. They haven't gotten away. Couldn't make a break for it without me seeing them.
All right, keep on watching, Garnigle. I'm going to talk to your lieutenant. Sing out if you see anything. Garnigle told me the situation, Lieutenant. So it's a gang of boys, huh?
Well, we've seen them often enough, Chief.
And they've been starting these fires?
Yeah, I'm sure of it. Oh, excuse me, Chief. All right, Collins, we're through with that extinguisher up there.
Yes, sir.
Take it down below. Use it to smother any coals the men can't beat out with a broom.
Okay, Lieutenant.
Thing about these grass fires, Chief, not one of them we've seen yet has caused any real damage. But any day now...
Yeah, let's get hold of those kids. Garnigle says they're still up there behind that storage shed.
They're faster on their feet than I am, Chief.
But where can they run to? Higher up, there's the oil company fence, 9 feet high, with a wire mesh only a squirrel could climb.
Yeah, so if we separate, if we each go around one side of the shed...
I'll drive them toward you, or you'll drive them toward me.
We can't miss.
All right, let's get started. But remember, we don't want to scare those boys. We've got to get a hold of at least one of them and get the idea across to him that playing with fire isn't safe.
I'm with you, sir. No rough handling.
Well, this is the time to use our heads and teach those boys to use theirs. Oh, we'll separate here, Lieutenant. You go on that side, I'll go on this. Well, almost there. Don't want to scare the kids.
No, sir, that won't help.
Collins, what's the idea?
Oh, I didn't mean to startle you, Chief.
Coming up behind a man like that might as well shoot me as scare me to death.
Oh, sorry, sir. I thought you heard me. I thought it was me you were speaking to.
No, Collins, you just caught the old man talking to himself. And what's on your mind?
Well, the fire's completely extinguished, Chief. I came to report to Lieutenant Greenspan, and then I saw you creeping along. Well,
No, creeping is right, boy. Well, come on, creep along with me. We're trying to round up that gang of kids.
Oh, hold it, Chief. We're at the corner of the shed.
Easy now. I heard somebody moving.
Yeah, coming this way, just sneaking along.
Be ready to grab him if you have to.
Here he is.
Collins, let go of my arm.
Oh, but of course. I hoped I didn't hurt your arm, sir.
What happened, Lieutenant? I thought you were one of those kids.
We've been stung, Chief. You thought I was one of those boys. I heard you. I thought the same thing.
But where are they? We've been all around the shed and not a sign of them.
Well, they didn't go over that 9-foot fence.
Oh, somehow they give us the slip.
Well, if they ran away, why didn't Garnigle sing out? He was watching down there by the engine.
So was the whole company, sir. Maybe they can tell us how we lost out.
All right, back down the hill. Maybe Garnigle saw them. So you can't help us, Garnicle. You didn't see those boys run away?
Chief, never once did I take my eyes off that shed up there on a hill. Never once did...
Hey, there they go. Oh, good grief. Half a dozen of them, like a flock of sparrows.
But it's impossible. We were there and they weren't.
But they were there, all right, and there they go. Now, how did they put it over on us like that?
Well, that settles it. We've got to put somebody to work on this case before those boys cause real trouble.
I got a good man to handle it, Chief Cody. Collins, how about it? You tackle this case?
Now, that's putting it up to Tim Collins in no uncertain terms. When the lieutenant of Company 209 and Chief Cody himself are baffled, can Tim find some way to get in touch with the gang of boys? There's no time for delay, because their dangerous game of starting grass fires may become deadly serious when flames reach the area where millions of gallons of oil and gasoline are stored. For Tim's approach to this case, listen to our next true-to-life episode of The Firefighters. In just a moment, Chief Bob Cody will tell you, boys and girls, how you can help the firefighters in your own town. But first, here's a message you ought to hear. And now, Chief Bob Cody with a special notice for the Firefighters Brigade. Chief Cody.
Boys and girls, this is your friend Chief Cody, and here's something we ought to think about. I've been noticing lately that some people are careless about burning rubbish and leaves and grass and so on. They don't realize how fast fire spreads and how quickly it gets out of control. So I'm going to ask you to check up on this. Now, just pass the word along that no fire at any time should be left to burn outdoors with nobody watching it. Remember, fire can't be trusted. So when you see rubbish burning, just look to see if anybody is in charge of the fire. If not, you know somebody is taking a pretty serious chance. Well, that's all for now. So long, everybody.
Fire Chief Cody and the young rookie fireman Tim Collins will be back on the same station the next time you hear...
That's it. Let's roll! Let's go! Firefighters!
Ladies and gentlemen, the secret word tonight is lamp. L-A-M-P.
Really?
You bet your life. More than 3,000 DeSoto Plymouth dealers of America present Groucho Marx in You Bet Your Life, the comedy quiz series produced and transcribed from Hollywood. And here he is, the one, the only... Groucho!
Say, that's me, Groucho Marx. Well, here I am again with $1,000 for one of our couples.
Well, Groucho, we invited some dental assistants to the program tonight. And just before we went on the air, our studio audience selected Miss Judy Garvin. Her partner is an industrial designer from the audience, Mr. Hunt Lewis. Folks, come in here and meet Groucho Marx.
Well, welcome for the DeSoto Plymouth dealer. Say the secret word and divide $100. It's a common word, something you'll find around the house. I'd like to find you around the house. Miss Judy Garvin, weren't you at the Palace in New York?
No, that's a different Garvin.
Oh, Garvin. Oh, I see. I don't hear very well. How old are you, Judy?
I'm 18.
Where are you from, Judy?
I was born in El Centro, California.
Oh. Mr. Lewis Hunt, where are you from, Mr. Hunt?
My name is Hunt Lewis.
Oh. I've never hunted, Lewis. I've hunted bear, but that was in the summer, and it was okay. You mean Hunt is your first name?
What I usually use for a first name, actually, it's my middle name.
What's your first name? El Centro?
Cicero.
Oh, Cicero. Isn't that a town in Illinois?
Yes, well, it is, but it's the name of a Roman senator, too.
That's the trouble with those senators. They should stop roaming and spend more time in Washington. Where are you from, Mr. Lewis?
I was born in Portland.
Well, which Portland? Is that Portland Hopper or Portland Cement?
Portland, Oregon.
Are you married, Mr. Lewis?
Yes, I am.
Where'd you meet your wife? Did Portland introduce you to her?
No, I met her when I was in college in Princeton.
Oh, you're a Princeton man, huh? What was she studying?
Oh, she wasn't studying. It's a boys' college. Did you know that?
that so? Well, Einstein is in Princeton, and he's 72 years old. You better explain what she was doing then. You better explain pretty fast. As Mrs. Einstein may hear of this.
Well, she was living in Princeton in those days with her father.
Was it a case of love at first sight?
Well, not exactly that. As a matter of fact, she was 12 or 13 years old when I first met her. It wasn't until about 10 years afterwards that we began to get romantically inclined. I suppose in those 10 years I probably grew up.
Either that or she grew up. Now, you say you're a dental assistant?
Yes. A student dental assistant.
Oh, you're a student?
Yes.
Where is this?
Lawton School for Medical and Dental Assistants.
Where is that?
That's on Beverly and La Cienega here in Los Angeles.
No. Well, what is a dental assistant, specifically?
Well, most people think she's, they confuse it with a dental technician, but she
They do,
isn't.
huh?
Yes. She is.
You wouldn't think so offhand, would you? Are there any boy students at your school?
No.
Why not?
Well, dentists usually prefer girls.
Really? In a recent nationwide survey, more dentists prefer girls than any other cigarette. Well, Judy, you can't trust those dentists. You never know when they're going to pull something, can you? Now, Mr. Lewis, what does an industrial designer do?
Well, he designs practically anything that's manufactured.
Like what?
Anything from a safety pin to a locomotive, I always say.
That can get pretty dreary, can't it? Now, wait a minute. Why would a locomotive need safety pins? I guess when they change engines, they wouldn't need safety pins. Is there much demand for your type of work?
Yes, there's a lot. I can't think of anything around us here that really couldn't take some better design. In fact, I think it's...
Judy, that's a direct slap at you.
Well, of course...
You think everything can be improved, is that it?
Well, I'm thinking of something I think Raymond Loewy said, which was that basically in design, perhaps the only two things that he couldn't improve were an egg and a woman.
Well, Hunk, you can play around with an egg, but touch one hair of that woman and you die like a dog. March on, he said. Well, it's been interesting talking to you two, and the first thing in the morning, I'm going to get a new hairdo. Now, in just 1 minute, you're going to play You Bet Your Life for a chance at the $1,000 question. But right now, here's something of interest to everybody.
Feature after feature makes the new 1952 DeSoto a really great value. Take, for example, DeSoto's waterproof ignition. Maybe you've heard about the rigid water tests given the electrical system of the new DeSoto. In one, a 1952 DeSoto was driven through a pool of deep water. In another test, a heavy stream of water from a fire hose is trained directly on the engine, full force. Yet the engine starts up immediately and keeps right on running without missing a single beat. These tests demonstrate clearly how the exciting new 1952 DeSoto with waterproof ignition operates smoothly in spite of rain or snow or splashing or heavy condensation. Waterproof ignition. Just one of the countless exciting features that make the 1952 DeSoto, your very best car value. See it. Ride in it. Drive the great new 1952 DeSoto, the car that's designed for you and your budget, too. Now at your DeSoto Plymouth dealers. And remember, all dealers who sell DeSoto also sell Plymouth, the low-priced car most like high-priced cars.
All right, now let's see how you work together as a team. George?
You bet as much of your $20 as you want on each of 4 questions.
Says this
The couple
every
that
week.
earns the most money gets a chance at the $1,000 DeSoto Plymouth question later in the show.
Hey, here we go. Let's see how high I can build you $20. You selected songs of the 40s as your category. Here's your first question. How much will you bet?
17.
How much?
17. I think.
17. You got to talk real loud because this show goes all over California. All right, this tune was one of the big novelty hits of the 40s. Give me the title of it. Jerry?
Pistol packing mama.
Pistol packing mamas.
You're off to a good start. You have $37.
Remember, you're going for $1,000 tonight. How much of the 37 will you risk?
35.
85. What's the name of this song? Okay, Jerry. All right, kids, what is it?
We haven't decided. I don't know.
Well, take a stab at it.
Is it something about...
Well, it's the breeze and I.
They now have $2, Groucho.
$2. Well, here's your third question. How much of the $2 will you bet?
Bet one.
Bet $1. All right. Play, Jerry.
You now have $3.
Now you've climbed up to $3, and it's your last chance to beat the other couples. How much of the three are you going to bet?
Shall we bet all?
The whole thing.
The whole thing. Okay. What's the name of this song? The Great Big Wonderful World is right.
Well, I wind up with $6, Groucho.
Well, we don't leave anybody. Nobody leaves here with $6. Nobody leaves here with less than $25. So I'm going to give you one question for $19. Think hard now, and please no help from the audience. You ready?
Yes.
All right. What color is a red herring?
Yes.
Red is right. Thanks and good luck from the DeSoto Plymouth dealers. Now, before we go any further, there's something I want to mention. If some of you rascals out there are curious to see your old quizmaster in the sailor suit, then see a girl in every port, the picture I made recently with Marie Wilson and William Bendix.
We invited some carpet dealers to the program tonight, Groucho, and our studio audience selected Mr. Jack Danelian just before we went on the air, and his partner is a grandmother, Mrs. Margaret Laird. And here they come. Folks, come on in here and meet Groucho Marx.
Well, welcome to You Bet Your Life. Say the secret word and divide $100. It's a common word, something you'll find around the house. Mrs. Margaret Laird and Mr. Jack Danelian. Mrs. Laird, can I call you Margaret?
Yes.
Can you talk?
Yes.
All right. All right, I'll call you Maggie. You can call me Jake, huh?
No.
No? No Maggie?
No, Maggie.
I'll call you Maggie. I'll call you Margaret, huh? How's that?
That's right.
All right. How old are you, Margaret?
I'm 84.
84. Well, what is that? I thought you were about 39.
I thought I was 16.
That actually looks younger than Benny. Mr. Danelian, what'll I call you, Margaret?
Call me Jack.
Call you Jack?
Yes,
huh?
that's right.
Where were you born, Jack?
I have born Eintop, Turkey.
You were born in a turkey?
I suppose so, yes.
Who do you work for, Mr. Danelian?
Well, my brother and myself, we own the Zant Carpet Company. You ever heard of it?
Zant? Where did you get
Carpet.
Zant? Did you get him from Charlie? You know Charlie Zant? No groaning, please. This is all free, you know.
We bought good old name Zant in the auction for $850.
You bought your name in an auction?
Mm-hmm, we did.
Well, for only $8, you can have the fine old name of Groucho Marx. Did you really plunk down $850 just for a name?
Not exactly. We didn't have the money at the time.
Well, that's a good way to go in business. What happened after you acquired the name?
Well, after we acquired the name, brother and I, we worked many hours, and then we leased the building for $20,000 to enlarge and expand our business. And we did.
You spent $20,000 to enlarge the
No, we
business?
didn't spend it. We leased the place to expand.
So where'd you get the $20,000 from if you didn't have $850 for the name?
We didn't have that either, brother.
Have you ever thought of running for Congress?
I have a chance?
Where were you born, Margaret?
In Mulmer, Ontario.
Ontario, huh? Could you tell us what it was like when you were young, Maggie? When you and I were young, Maggie? Margaret? What was it like up in Canada when you were born, or when you were a young lady, a girl, child, a tot?
Well, I don't hardly know how to start at it, but I try and make a stagger at it. We lived on a farm, and we raised ducks and chickens and pigs and cows and horses. I think that was all.
I think that's enough. Well, what was it like in those days on the farm?
Well, you had to work for everything you got, what they don't do today.
How are the girls today compared with those when you were a little
They
child?
don't know they're living.
Well, why do you say that?
Because they don't do anything. Everything's handed to them. They push a button here, and they push a button there, and they push a button here, and nothing more.
Well, I'm inclined to agree with you. I've been out with some pretty dead ones lately myself.
And here I thought you were a real nice man. Margaret, I'm disappointed.
Margaret, I am a nice man, and a nice man always goes out with dead ones, I've discovered. Now, Margaret, this may be a man's world, but I'm happy to say it's women like you who are running it.
Thank you.
Well, it's been enlightening talking with you. Now, if you want to be enlightened, just visit your DeSoto dealer and see the new 1952 DeSoto.
Are you going to give me a car?
I may start off with an inner tube and then go on from there. Well, that goes inside the tire.
Oh.
And you can hold me to that. Now you're going to play You Bet Your Life. You beat our other couples, and you'll get a chance at the $1,000 question. I can't tell you how much you have to win, but George is going to remind our listeners.
The dental assistant and the industrial designer won $6. The secret word is still lamp.
Here we go. Let's see how high I can bill you $20. You selected Islands of the World. Here's your first question. How much will you bet?
$19.
What's this?
No, Margaret. I have the answers. He has them. How much you going to bet? $19? Is that all right with you, Margaret?
That's all right.
All right. What country owns the island of Puerto Rico?
Puerto Rico is owned by...
You can guess, too, you know.
I don't know.
Puerto Rico. South America.
No, it's the United States owns Puerto Rico. Huh?
They bet $19?
I'll have you on the carpet in a little while now.
They now have $1, Groucho.
Remember, you're going for $1,000 tonight. How much of the buck will you bet on your second question?
90 cents.
All right. What country owns the Bahama Islands?
India.
No, I'm sorry, England. Well, so far, you've made a clean sweep of this.
They have 10 cents left.
You've got 10 cents. All right. Here's your third question. How much of the dime are you going to bet this time?
9 cents.
9 cents. What country owns the Azores? Azores. Take a guess.
France.
No, it's Portugal. Now you've got 1 cent left. How much you going to bet? You want to bet a halfpenny? You're going to bet the whole thing.
Only thing left is the poor house.
All right, you want to bet the poor house. Huh? All right, 1 cent. Huh? What country owns the island of Sicily?
England.
No, you've certainly been consistent. It's Italy.
They went broke completely.
Nobody leaves here broke. We're going to give you one chance to win $25. Now, this is a pretty tough question, and we don't want any help from the audience. Who was buried in Grant's tomb?
Grant.
General Grant! It's a good thing you had Margaret helping you, Jack. Thanks and good luck from the DeSoto Plymouth dealer.
Roger, we have a couple of young people that we selected from our studio audience just before we went in the air. They never met before, and they're both single. I'd like you to meet them now, Miss Pat Burrows and Mr. Joe Woods. Come on in here and meet Groucho Marx.
Well, welcome, youngsters, for the DeSoto Plymouth dealer. Say the secret word and divide $100. It's a common word, something you'll find around the house, I think. Pat Burrows and Joe Woods, eh? Where are you from, Joe? I bet you're from Nebraska?
No, I'm from Norwalk.
Is that where you were born?
No, I was born in Holland.
Is Woods a Dutch name?
No, it's a real Yankee name, I guess. I converted my real name and shortened it a little bit and made it an American name.
I see. Well, what is the Dutch equivalent of Woods?
Well, my baptized name was Joseph Antonius Wilhelm Lodewijk Skunderword.
Well, I can see now why you took to the woods. How old are you, Joe?
30.
30, huh? You're not married?
No.
Well, don't go away. Maybe I can get Pat here, lost in the woods before the night is over. Pat Burrows, eh? How old are you, Pat?
24.
24, huh? And where were you born?
England.
Married?
No.
Planning it? You know, Noel Coward could write 4 or 5 plays around this dialogue. What part of England were you born in?
Quorn, Leicestershire. An agricultural district and the home of the corn hunt.
The home of the what?
The corn hunt.
The corn hunt?
The corn.
The corn hunt. Well, is a corn hunt anything like a corn hunt?
I don't know.
Yeah, we're back with Noel Coward again. Well, explain. What is the corn hunt?
It's a pack of foxhounds for hunting foxes.
Oh, and these quorns go out and chase the foxes?
No, the hounds go hunting.
The hounds go and chase the quorns? Is that it? I got quorns, but I never chase any foxes. That's known as the Bunyan Derby. Huh? What are you doing in America? Have you come over here to chase foxes?
No, I'm an iffy.
I beg your pardon?
I'm an iffy.
Really? Well, if you keep your shoes on, nobody will notice it. What is an IFE? Is that anything like an EFE or a UFE?
It stands for IFYE, the International Farm Youth Exchange. It's a program arranged for the exchange of farm youth to live with the different farm families in the different countries.
Oh. And you coming over here to live with a farm family?
That's right.
I'm going out in the morning and buy 5 acres. And raise corn, huh? Does anything embarrassing ever happen to a farmer's daughter, Pat?
Oh, yes.
Well, give out with something, Pat, will you? Was this in Arkansas or in California?
Well, I think I'd better go back home, if that's all right. I was in charge of...
What do you mean you're going back home?
To tell you of just one of those little embarrassing moments.
Oh, I
okay?
see. Yes. Rather. Are you there? I could go to England. I speak the language like a native. Well, tell me what happened to a farmer's daughter in Surrey.
No, Leicestershire.
Oh, Leicestershire. Isn't that stuff you put on liver and onions?
You mean Worcestershire?
Oh, Worcestershire.
I was in charge of a model farm in Leicester when the Duchess of Kent came to open the proceedings, and I was in charge of the different animals, which included a litter of pigs. This litter of pigs escaped and ran amok amongst all the
Ran a
officials.
what?
Ran amok.
Ran amok, huh?
You know.
How far is that? I ran amok at 1 mile and 2/6. Well, what is amok?
Disorderly, I'd say.
Oh, I see. Well, go on. There you are.
I say, they ran... I won't say it again.
No, let's have another go at it.
Actually, yes.
So, there you are, chasing the pig around. Was this a grease pig?
No, it was a litter of pigs. A litter of little pigs.
Oh, a litter of pigs.
Mm-hmm.
I see. And what happened?
I caught it. Them. It was a litter of pigs.
Oh, you caught the whole crowd, eh? Now, were you riding a fox at the time, or...?
No, just Shanks' pony.
Oh, you're welcome. Now, what were you riding, eh? Now, Joe, stop daydreaming over there, Joe. Do you think you could get to like a farm, or are you the city slicker type?
No, I'm a farm boy.
Yeah, huh? Well, hey. Pat, let's get back to you. By the way, do you find Schoenderwald more attractive? He's a farm boy, you know. How does he strike you?
He's different from the farm boys at home.
In what way? Pat, are you panting? I think Pat's ready to go corn hunting. Now you're going to play You Bet Your Life. You beat our other couples, you'll get a chance at the $1,000 question. I can't tell you how much you have to win, but Mr. Fenneman is going to remind our listeners.
The dental assistant and the industrial designer still lead with $6.
Here we go. Let's see how high I can build you $20. You selected important foreign cities. All of these cities are over 500,000 in population. Here's your first question. How much of the $20 will you bet?
17.
17. In what country is the city of Bombay?
India.
India.
India is right. India.
They're on their way. They have $37.
India. Remember, you're going for $1,000 tonight. How much of the $37 will you try this time?
35.
35. In what country is the city of Bucharest? Talk it over.
Hungary.
No, I'm sorry. It's Romania.
Oh.
You were close, but not close enough.
You now have $2.
Oh, here's your third question. How much of the $2 will you bet?
Oh, all right, $2.
You're going to bet the $2. In what country is the city of Glasgow?
Scotland.
Scotland is right.
Well, you're on your way again. You have $4.
Here's your last chance to beat the other couples. How much will you bet?
All of it.
$4.
$4. In what country is the city of Sao Paulo? S-A-O, capital P-A-U-L-O.
Brazil.
Brazil is right.
And you wind up with $8. And that means that you people get the chance of the $1,000
Not far from where you live, there's a neighbor of yours who has a mighty big investment in the community. His offices, his service shop, his showroom are probably familiar to you. Yes, he's your DeSoto Plymouth dealer. And whether you're acquainted with him or not, remember this. He's always glad to see you, always glad to serve you. He considers it a pleasure to show you the two great cars he sells, the beautiful new DeSoto and the handsome new Plymouth. Your DeSoto Plymouth dealer is proud of his fine line of used cars, of all makes and models. And he invites you to see his service shop, where master technicians, using the most modern tools and equipment, do a really top-notch service job, and do it faster, which means a saving to you. Not only that, you'll notice the folks who work in his place really believe in courtesy. So drop in and say hello, because you're always welcome wherever you see the sign of better service, the friendly sign of a DeSoto Plymouth dealer.
And here comes the young couple again, Groucho, all set for the DeSoto Plymouth $1,000 question.
Well, you look strangely familiar to me. Here we go for $1,000. I'll give you 15 seconds to decide on a single answer between you. Think carefully and please no help from the audience. Here it is. A book titled Up From Slavery was written by an outstanding leader and educator. His finest memorial is the famous Tuskegee Institute. For $1,000, what was his name? Talk it over. You have 15 seconds.
Not even a guess for me.
I'm sorry. It's Booker T. Washington. That's the correct answer, Booker T. Washington. So that means the big question next week will be worth $1,500. Well, you lost the big money, but how much did they win in the quiz, George?
They won only $8, and they shouldn't go away with less than $25.
Nobody goes away with less than $25, so we'll give you one question. This is for $17. Who composed Beethoven's Fifth Symphony? Ludwig Beethoven is right. Congratulations and thanks to both of you and to all of our contestants on the show tonight.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Good luck.
Be sure to tune in again next Wednesday night at the same time for the Groucho Marx Show, when the big question will be worth $1,500.
And don't miss Groucho's television show, also presented by the DeSoto Plymouth Dealers of America. And remember, all dealers who sell DeSoto also sell Plymouth. Two great cars, both products of the Chrysler Corporation.
Friends, maybe you can wait till next week, but I can't. Because that's when DeSoto is going to announce the most spectacular new car they've ever built. Right now, it's a big secret, and if they knew I was telling
Wait
you...
a minute, Groucho. Hold everything. You can't tell them yet. It's too early. Folks, you'll have to tune in Groucho Marx next week to find out all about DeSoto's big history-making announcement. Folks, here's a reminder from the National Safety Council. A really safe speed depends on conditions. You Bet Your Life, transcribed from Hollywood, is produced by John Goodell. Directed by Robert Dwan and Bernie Smith. Music by Jerry Fielding. This is George Fenneman signing off for the more than 3,000 DeSoto Plymouth dealers from coast to coast.
Oh, George, we've got company!
This is Bill Goodwin, speaking for Lever Brothers, makers of Swan, the new white floating soap that's pure as fine Castile. Well, it's Tuesday night again, time for another pleasant visit with George Burns and Gracie Allen, Jimmy Cash, Felix Mills and his orchestra, and the Swan Test.
While I'm there in the air with my head in the clouds, I think of someone I love. And I know down below she is dreaming of me while I am up there above. When the night is clear and the bombardier drops a bomb that's white for star, how I yearn to return with my head in the clouds to the one I love.
Now meet the people who live in the Burns house, George and Gracie. Well, it's morning in the Burns home, and George is upstairs getting ready to leave for the office. Gracie is in the kitchen talking with a woman from the east who has just moved in next door.
Oh, I know you're going to love it here in California, Miss Pringle. Especially the weather.
Don't like the weather. Too nice.
Too nice?
Young folks go on picnics. Get romantic. Get married.
Oh, well, I never thought of that. Well, anyway, you'll enjoy the house you bought. Did you notice all the flowers in the yard?
Don't like flowers. Too pretty.
Too pretty?
Young folks smell them. Get ideas. Get married.
My goodness. You certainly are down on marriage. Don't you like men?
Men are different.
Oh.
Hate them.
Really?
Can't trust them. Young ones run after women. Old ones crawl. You married?
Oh, yes. Yes, I have a fine husband. Pre-war. Wouldn't you like to get married?
Huh. Rather get drowned.
Drowned? Oh, I wouldn't. And when I married George, Mother offered me my choice, too.
What does your husband do besides chase women?
Oh, he doesn't chase women. Not my husband.
Huh?
Oh, really? When he leaves here, he goes straight to the office.
Ever follow him?
No, but I see him get on the bus.
Women drive buses. Run elevators in office buildings, too.
Oh, well, I'm not worried about George. Why, he wouldn't even make eyes at a lady butcher.
Sweetheart, I just... Oh, you have company.
Oh, here he is, Miss Pringle. This is my husband.
Who was that?
Our new next-door neighbor.
Must run over sometime and borrow a cup of cyanide.
George.
Yes, dear?
Does a woman drive the bus you take to work?
Yes. Why?
Do you ever sit on her lap while she drives with one hand?
Certainly not.
Do girls run the elevators in your office building?
Well, what if they do?
Oh, please don't let them take you down the basement, George.
Gracie, what in the world is going...
Oh, excuse me, dear. There's the postman.
The postman? Well, wait a minute. I'll go.
Well, gee, it's about time those vitamin pills started to work.
Good morning, Mr. Burns. Glorious morning.
Never mind the weather. Did it come? Have you got it?
Yes, here it is.
Don't hold it up like that. You want my wife to see it?
Oh, I forgot. My wife doesn't allow me to look at this kind of magazine either.
Quick, slip it under my coat.
Here.
Oh, boy. At last. Cowboy Love Tales.
What a magazine. Remember when Oklahoma Tex had the rustlers cornered? He said, "Come out of there, you yellow-livered, ornery, low-down skunks." Sheer poetry, isn't it?
And then all of a sudden, one of the rustlers stuck his head out. And bang! He was a goner.
Yes, and then another one tried it. Bang!
And then another one. Bang!
Bang, bang, bang! Pow!
Pow?
The hand grenade, don't you remember?
Oh, sure. Bang! Then another one got it. Bang! Bang!
Bang! Bang!
Bang! Bang!
Having fun, boys?
Bang! Gracie.
Oh, good morning, Mrs. Burns.
All right, Judge. Hand it over.
And what over, sweetheart?
That magazine you get such a bang out of.
Oh, this one.
Yes. And Mr. Postman, I thought I told you to stop delivering Cowboy Love Tales.
I did, Mrs. Burns. This is the first one in 6 weeks.
Well, you go back and tell that post office this is the last warning. If it ever happens again, I'll buy my stamps at the drugstore.
Well, it won't happen again, Mrs. Burns. Goodbye. And remember, Mr. Burns, keep smiling.
Oh, George, aren't you ashamed reading junk like this? Why don't you read something worthwhile like Dickens or Shakespeare or Beethoven?
I don't like Beethoven. I'm not a mystery fan.
You've done without Cowboy Love Tales for 6 weeks now, and you're not going to start embarrassing me again.
Embarrassing you?
Yeah, you know what I mean. You get carried away with that cowboy talk. And I don't like to be referred to as old paint.
Gracie...
And what about the day I asked you to make an appointment for me at the beauty shop?
Well,
You called Pierre and said, "Heat your brandonine, Frenchie, and I'm sending my doggie in to be clipped and curried."
Did I say that?
Yeah, and you ought to be ashamed.
Hi, folks.
I'll leave it to Bill. Bill, shouldn't George be ashamed of himself?
He certainly should. What's the reason today?
Gracie doesn't approve of my reading matter.
Well, Bill, I'll bet you wouldn't read a magazine called Cowboy Love Tales.
Well, of course not, Gracie. I never read any kind of love tale.
See?
I don't have to. I'm at an age where I can still live them.
You certainly are a scream. Just so happens that Cowboy Love Tales are inspiring stories. Neither one of you has ever read one.
Well, I've seen them on the newsstand. They're all about Oklahoma Tex, aren't they?
That's right.
Oh, sure. There's Oklahoma Tex jumps the outlaws in Dusty Canyon.
Dusty Canyon. What a story.
Oklahoma Tex jumps the rustlers in Muddy Gulch.
Muddy Gulch. That was a pip.
Oklahoma Tex jumps in the bathtub with Swan soap.
What?
Well, he should have. He certainly needed it by then.
Oh, Bill.
Swan's not only great for your bath or shower, but perfect for bathing the baby, or for doing your dishes or light laundry. It's the new white floating soap. There's 4 swell soaps in one.
Well, I see I'm not going to get any sympathy here. Goodbye, you two. I'm going to the dentist.
Oh, George, do you have to go to the dentist again? You've been going now for 6 weeks.
Well, it looks like I'll have to go a while longer.
What's the matter, George? Got upper plate wobble?
I happen to have my own teeth, and they're perfect.
Then why do you make all these trips to the dentist?
Yeah, I'm scared of the dentist myself. You know, to this day, Mother has to bribe me. Gives me a half for each tooth he pulls.
$50, huh?
No, half a bar, Swan. She lets me wash the dishes.
That's the bribe.
Oh, sure, Swan's great for dishes. Try it in the dish pan or try it for laundering your fine things. Swan gives you loads of suds and real protection for your hands at the same time. Swan is so mild, so gentle, leaves your hands soft and lovely.
Someday you're going to sprout feathers and turn into a swan. Goodbye, Gracie. Goodbye, Bill.
Great bye, George.
Great bye?
Well, I used to say goodbye, but Swan is a great bye in wartime.
So long.
Yeah. Hey, Gracie, well, what dentist does George go to?
Dr. Clark in the medical building.
Oh, sure, I've heard of Dr. Clark.
Really?
Oh, yes, she's very good.
She?
Well, yes, one of the best women dentists in the country.
A woman?
Oh, now, Gracie.
Oh, Miss Pringle was right. George is chasing another woman, a lady dentist.
Oh, now, Gracie, there's nothing to worry about. The woman is probably a mother.
Oh, yes, those Lana Turner.
Jimmy Cash has his voice in the revival of this favorite of a few years ago, My Ideal.
Long ago, my heart and mind got together and designed a wonderful girl for me. Oh, what a fantasy. Though the idol of my heart can't be ordered a la carte, I wonder if she will be always a fantasy. Will I ever find the girl in my mind, the one who is my ideal? Maybe she's a dream, and yet she might be just around the corner, waiting for me. Will I recognize a light in her eyes that no other eyes reveal? Or will I pass her by and never even know that she is mine?
Bill, how could George do this to me? How could he fall for another woman?
Oh, now, Gracie.
I gave him the best years of my life, and believe me, I'll never do that again.
Now, Gracie, calm down.
Calm down. Do you expect me to sit here while that lady dentist drills her way into my husband's heart?
Now, there's no proof that
haven't I been a good wife to him, Bill? Haven't I bragged about him and praised him to everybody? Well, just the other day, I told the income tax man that George makes twice as much as he really does.
Well, yeah, but...
And the way I take care of his things. Last night, I took all those dirty old pipes that he smokes and gave them a nice bubble bath.
Now, Gracie, don't get excited. I'm sure George only went to that lady dentist to get his teeth fixed. Remember, there's a shortage of dentists.
There's a shortage of husbands, too. Let her find her own. I want my George.
Say, you're really jealous of that man, aren't you?
Well, can you blame me? Why, they don't make men like him anymore. They broke the mold when they made George.
Well, better late than never.
Of all people, I never dreamed that a dentist would fall for George.
What do you mean, Gracie?
Well, I've seen him asleep, and he's not at his best with his mouth open.
Now, Gracie, you're worried about nothing. I'm sure that George and the dentist haven't fallen for each other.
Oh, yes, they have, Bill. I can see it now. George walks into her office. She sits him down in her chair and puts her arms around him and says, "Don't worry. This won't hurt a bit."
Good morning, Doctor.
Oh, it's you.
Yes, I thought I could stay away, but I can't.
Now, look, we can't go on like this. People are beginning to talk.
Just so my wife doesn't find out. Let him talk.
But I can't afford it. I'm a dentist. You've been coming here for 6 weeks now. Don't you think I should at least look at your teeth?
That's not why I'm here.
I know, but do you think I wanted to get out? Do you think I want people to know that you come here just to read my back issues of Cowboy Love Tales?
Gee, Doc, just let me keep coming until Oklahoma Tex escapes from Dry Gulch, huh?
Well, all right. But remember, the next time he falls into a gulch, you'll have to dig him out somewhere else.
Thanks, Doc. I'll read it right here in the waiting room as usual. Would you like to listen?
No, thanks. Oh, excuse me. I have a patient in the chair.
Now, let's see. Where did I leave off? Oh, yes, here we are. Oklahoma Tex leaped into the saddle. Could he reach Dry Gulch in time to save Lucy from the half-breed? On and on he rode. And Tex and Lucy rode off into the sunset, leaving Dry Gulch a better town because 400 half-breeds had hit the dust. Oh, what a story. Goodbye, Doc. Thanks again. Oh, pony boy, won't you be a pony boy? Don't
Hello,
say...
dear.
Howdy, partner. Don't say no here. Oh. Gracie.
Yes?
What are you doing here?
I came down to hold your hand while you were in the dentist's chair. Or did the dentist do that?
Huh?
What did the dentist do to you, dear?
Oh, I had a dry gulch filled. I mean the cavity. Well, I'll be late for work. I better hurry.
Well, I'd like to see the filling.
You would?
You open your mouth.
My mouth?
You know, the thing you tell all those fibs with.
I don't tell fibs, sweetheart.
Oh, really, sweetheart?
Of course not. Don't you trust me, sweetheart?
Well, sure I trust you, sweetheart.
Well, thank you, sweetheart.
You're welcome, sweetheart. Now open your mouth and let me see the filling.
Oh, gee. I'm late for work. I'll see you later.
So he wasn't in there to have his teeth fixed. Well, I'll show that dentist something. Oh! Drop that drill, you home wrecker.
I beg your pardon.
Oh, don't act innocent. I'm onto your game. I know you lure men in here and fill them full of Novocaine.
What?
Oh! You keep quiet. I'll do the talking.
Now, look, madam, I'm working on a patient, and I can't...
You better get up and get out of that chair and go home to your wife and children before it's too late, mister. Yeah, that's no excuse.
Look here, what does this mean?
It means I'm wise to you. I've looked into my husband's mouth. I know you bought him with your gold.
Oh, now, see here.
Go home, you silly man.
Madam, did you come here to see me about your husband's teeth?
No, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
Well, then what do you want?
I want my husband. You bantam, you Wolverine. I know your tricks. Every morning you put on your slinky white coat, your best dental floss, and spray yourself with Irium.
Really, this is ridiculous.
Haven't you gone home yet?
Lady, I don't know who you are, but if you don't leave, I'm going to call the police.
All right, I'll go. But you haven't heard the last of this. You're not going to get my husband.
Who is your husband?
George Burns.
Oh, him. I never cared for his teeth.
Oh, I'm not crazy about them either, but what's mine is mine.
Time for Felix Mills and his orchestra. Tonight, Felix looks at the top 10 tunes and, for a Mills treatment, selects...
decided to make George jealous. I'll show him that two can play at this game.
Well, what are you going to do, Gracie?
Oh, that must be Nigel Bolingbroke. He's going to help me out.
That pool hall Hamlet?
Oh, Bill, he's a fine actor. Come in.
Greetings, fair lady. It is I, Bolingbroke.
Oh, Mr. Bolingbroke. I need your help. My husband is leaving me for a woman dentist.
Egad, but your husband has peculiar tastes. Not to mention the woman dentist.
Now, your job is to pretend that you're my lover. Can you be some sort of a foreigner?
Well, naturally. I am a thespian.
Well, a thespian is nice, but I'd rather have somebody from a larger country.
Now, look, Gracie, I don't think this thing will work.
Of course it will, Bill. Mr. Bolingbroke, can you do a Russian?
A Rush? But of course.
Oh, good. I want George to think that I've been swept off my feet, overpowered. And the Russians have been doing very well at that.
Well, an excellent selection. And now we come to that little matter of,
money?
Yes.
Gracie, I tell you, this idea is no good. Now, give it up.
Mr. Goodwin, shall we keep our big, ugly noses out of other people's business? Now, Mrs. Burns, let us return to that delightful subject of moolah.
Oh, all right. I was thinking of around $5.
Oh, come, we can think harder than that.
Well, can't you do it for $5?
Well, for $5, I could give you a middle-class Russian, a man with a small wholesale borscht business, yes.
Well, he doesn't sound terribly exotic. Haven't you got something in a nice Russian count?
Oh, to be sure. Of course, my counts run around $7.
Oh, well, I'll pay it. George is worth $7.
Naturally, the $7 count lives in a small apartment. Now, for an extra $1, I can put him in a castle.
Oh, I'll take it.
Now, if you want a castle with a bathroom...
You better let the Count wash in the kitchen. George is coming up the walk.
Oh, sorry, Mr. Bolingbroke. Go into the library and put on your beard and Russian dress.
Very well.
Now, I'll go upstairs and put on my most alluring satin negligee. George's eyes will pop when he sees it.
Hello, Bill. Where's Gracie?
Upstairs.
Bill, I'm going to tell Gracie everything. I've been leading a double life.
Yeah?
Yeah. I've been sneaking away from home and reading cowboy love tales.
You beast, have you no shame?
You see, I found the back issues in the dentist's office, and I just couldn't resist it.
Wait a minute. George, is that why you went to the lady dentist?
Sure.
Oh, murder. Gracie thought you two were holding hands in the shade of the old X-ray machine.
Oh, stop.
No, really, she did. She's even got Bolingbroke in the next room disguised as her Russian lover to make you jealous.
What?
Well, sure. They're going to do a big love scene to burn you up.
Bill, I'm going to teach my wife a lesson. I'm tired of her being jealous of me.
Well, shh. Here she comes.
Oh, hello, George.
Hello.
Notice what I'm wearing?
Oh, yeah. Been working in the garden?
The garden? Well, I like that. Oh, Count. Where are you, Count?
Here I am, my little bobblers here.
Oh, Count. The things you say. George, darling, I'd like you to meet the man I'm madly in love with.
Glad to meet you.
Well, George, didn't you hear me? I'm desperately in love with this man. We're going to run away together. I'm going to leave you.
That's so? What's new with you lately, Bill?
Nothing much, George. What's new with you?
Not a thing.
Well, Count, tell me how much you love me.
Oh, my little pigeon, I'm mad for you. Come, fly away to Russia with me. To Russia and happiness.
What do you hear about Swan these days, Bill?
Oh, plenty, George. You see, people know that Swan is the white floating soap that's 4 soaps in one. The soap for your dishes, light laundry, for bathing the baby, and for your hands and face. 4 soaps in one.
Is that so?
Yeah.
Come, babushka, kiss me. I will smother you with kisses. Ha! Burning kisses.
Oh, Count! Oh, look, George, he's trying to kiss me.
That soap is pretty good for babies, huh, Bill?
Pretty good. It's wonderful.
You don't say.
Oh, yeah. Swan is just what the doctor ordered for bathing the baby because it's so mild and gentle, kind even to a baby's tender skin. And if Swan is kind to a baby's skin, well, it must be a great complexion soap for grown-ups, too.
Makes sense, doesn't it?
Oh, sure.
Count, I don't think my husband knows how much you love me.
Bah to your husband. Boris Morris, I will get up in the middle of the night, and with my bare hands I will strangle your husband until he is dead.
Understand that Swan breaks in two, Bill.
Oh, sure, George. Swan breaks in two so you can use half in the kitchen for your dishes and light laundry and half in the bathroom for your hands and face, tub, or shower.
Imagine that. What'll those Lever brothers think of next year?
George Burns.
Yes, dear?
Are you just going to sit there while this man steals your wife? At least you might have the courtesy to shoot him.
Oh, I wouldn't shoot Bolingbroke. I might get 30 days.
Bolingbroke?
Bill, would you escort the Count to the door and kick His Highness outside?
A pleasure, George.
Now, just a minute. Let's not be hasty, my little friend. Just...
And now I've got a few words to say to you, my love.
To me?
Yes. I only went to Dr. Clark's office to read Cowboy Love Tales.
You mean all you ever saw in her were her magazines?
Of course.
Oh, George, I've been such a little fool.
I've noticed it.
But I only get so jealous because I love you so terribly. You're my man, darling, and I adore you from the top of your tiny head to the tips of your big, strong feet.
Yeah, but that's...
Oh, please say you'll forgive me.
Okay. I forgive you.
Oh, you're good, George, good. And I promise I'll never be jealous of you again.
Oh, fine. Well, now I'll run down to the corner and pick up a few cigars.
Oh, Mr. Dear, something might happen to you on the way. I couldn't bear it.
Look, I'll only be gone for a minute.
Oh, all right. But phone me as soon as you get there.
I will.
You can reverse the charges if you like.
Oh, sure. I'll be right back.
Oh, goodbye. Take care of yourself, dear.
Going out again, is he?
Oh, hello, Miss Pringle. He's only going down to the corner to get some cigars.
That's what he says.
Miss Pringle, you have a very suspicious mind, and I'm sorry I ever listened to you.
You've been to the cigar store lately?
Well, no, I haven't.
New clerk.
Really?
Very pretty girl.
Pretty girl? Oh, my goodness. George Burns, you come back here.
Well, George and Grace, you're coming right back. Meanwhile, I'd like to remind you that there's ammunition for the next attack right in your kitchen. Yes, in waste kitchen fat. There's glycerin in waste fat, and glycerin is needed in the bombs and bullets and shells for our boys. So save all the waste fat you can. Melt down solid fats, too. Strain them into a clean tin can. And as soon as you have a pound or more collected, take it to your meat dealer. He'll pay you for it. How about it, friends? Try to get a pound of waste kitchen fat on its way to the munition factories in time for the next American offensive. Well, here again are radio's lovable Mr. and Mrs. George and Gracie Burns.
All right, Gracie. So Cowboy Love Tales is junk. Now turn out the light and let's go to sleep.
How can you read this silly stuff? Listen to this. Oklahoma Tex looks into the barrel of the half-breed's gun.
All right, turn out the light.
Nothing on earth could save Tex now.
All right, turn out the light.
I will not. I want to see what happens.
Good night,
The makers of Swan, the new white floating soap, join George and Gracie in inviting you to tune into your CBS station again next week, same time, when we'll have as our guest Eddie Cantor. Remember, George Burns and Gracie Allen, CBS next Tuesday night. And now till next week, this is Bill Goodwin saying, well, I, Swan, how about you?
Here's Radio News. In another Lever Brothers program, our old friends Amos and Andy return to the air next Friday over another network. A sparkling new half hour of comedy and music you're bound to enjoy. Hear Amos and Andy with Charles Coburn as guest next Friday night. Consult your newspaper for time and station.
A full half half hour of entertainment with all the Amos and Andy characters, plus Slug Bluskin and his orchestra, and those famous Delta Rhythm Boys. Well, the Kingfisher's wife, Sapphire, has been working hard all winter, and she feels that she's in desperate need of a vacation. At the moment, she's telling her husband, the Kingfish, in no uncertain terms.
I want to go away on a vacation like other people do.
Yeah, well, why is you yelling about a vacation all of a sudden, honey?
Because I'm tired. I want to get away. I'd like to take a boat where I won't have nothing to do.
Okay, sweetheart, if that's what you want.
You mean it, George?
Yeah, I'll meet you in Central Park at 4 o'clock, and I'll even do the rowing.
We've been married for 22 years, and only one time did you come to me and suggest that we go on a little trip.
Yeah, that was a nice trip, too.
Yeah, but everybody goes on a honeymoon. I never will forget that trip. That was the hardest trip we ever made.
Now, what you talking about? You was at the finest hotel in Niagara Falls for a whole month.
Yes, and I was the only bride there working as a chambermaid.
Sapphire, I'm going to tell you something. I can't afford to take you on another vacation.
Well, what I want to know is what's happened to that money that I put in the sugar bowl every week so we could get out of town this summer.
Well, I had to dip in it so we could stay in town this winter, that's all.
George, I'm telling you that I insist on getting a vacation, and you better do something about it.
Well, all right, honey. If that's the way you feel, I'll do my part.
Now, that's more like it.
I'll write to the hotel in Niagara Falls and see if they can use you again this year.
Well, that's what I mean. I want to go on a vacation.
Oh, I tell you, Henry, my wife really hopping on me about going away on a vacation.
Yes, vacation talk is up in the air right now. And unfortunately, the vacation prices is in the same place.
Yeah, I don't know what to do about it.
Well, we ain't decided. But I know last year I couldn't get away. But Mrs. Van Porter went to Saratoga Springs to take the bath.
The bath, huh? What's the matter? Was your plumbing out of order?
No, Kingfish. These is mineral baths.
Oh, minerals.
Yes, you know, doctors recommend that your minerals need bathing every often and so on.
I don't know where Sapphire wants to go, but she's been nagging my head off. Tell me this, Henry, what do other people in the society crowd do about vacation?
Well, the Worthington Peabodys will go away this summer because their winter motoring trip to Florida didn't work out too good.
Oh, didn't, huh?
No, they couldn't agree on a car. She's very social, you know, and wanted a Cadillac. But he insisted on a Lincoln.
Well, what happened?
They stood on the highway for 5 hours and nothing went by but Fords and Chevrolets.
They was going to hitchhike, huh?
Yes, but after their experience in getting to Florida, Mr. and Mrs. Peabody say that they'll never do it again.
Why not?
They claim a very low class of people is driving automobiles.
Yeah, the automobile club ought to do something about it, or it's going to kill hitchhiking, all right. I wish I knew some way of raising some money to take my wife Sapphire on a vacation.
Well, Kingfish, why couldn't you raise the money by selling that automobile of yours?
Well, that car of mine's a pretty bad wreck right now.
Yes, but you know Andy has got a new girl. He ought to be a pretty good prospect for your car, Kingfish.
Yeah, that ain't a bad idea. Andy is a good prospect. Yeah, I could sell him this car, and that'd give me enough money to go away on a vacation. See you later, Henry. I'm going prospecting. Well, congratulations, Andy. I hear you got a new girl.
Yeah, and I'm crazy about it, too, Kingfish. I even like her mama.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this gal is really sweet.
Yeah, what kind of a car do you take out riding in, Andy?
I ain't got a car, Kingfish.
No car?
No.
You mean that this is a pedestrian courtship? Andy, everybody that's courting a gal needs an automobile.
Yeah, maybe you're right. I think I'll go out and look for an automobile.
Well, all you got to do is look straight ahead right out there at the curb. There she sits. I'm going to sell him a car.
Well, I wouldn't want to buy a car like yours, though, Kingfish.
Yeah, well, what's wrong with it? Come on, step outside and look the thing over.
All right.
I just had it fixed up.
You did?
Oh, yeah, the door on the driver's side now has got a handle on it. And the two front fenders are tied on with solid copper wire. Oh, yeah. There she is. Look over there.
What make car is that?
Well, it's got Chevrolet wheels, Pontiac radiator, got Oldsmobile fenders, Buick springs, and a Cadillac hubcap. You was here at General Motors, ain't you?
Yeah.
Well, this takes in the whole corporation.
Yeah, well, let me open the door here and look inside.
Yeah, go ahead, open the door. Nice tune, ain't it?
The thing I want to hear is the motor. Start it up one.
You want to hear the motor, huh? You sure of that, huh?
Yeah, that's the main thing. Go ahead, start it up.
Okay, let me get down here, sit down here in this thing. Here we go. Cheap gas.
Listen, Kingfish, that motor sounds bad, you know it?
Well, I think a speck of carbon got in the cylinder head somewhere there. Maybe a fly brought it in. You know they fly around there.
Listen, start that thing up again. I want to hear that again.
Hear it again. All right, I'll start it. Here we go. Automatic cutoff. Come on, let's get on back in the office and cut the thing in.
Yeah, okay. What do you want for it?
Well, I tell you what, I'm going to give him a rock bottom price here right off the bat. Now, $75, and that's a steal. Now, it'd be great for you and your gal. Now, here's the bill of sale and also a guarantee with my signature on it. And when my signature's on anything, it is good as gold.
Yeah.
Now, here, I'll sign the thing right here now. Now, here's all the papers. Here's the keys to the car. Now, give me the money.
All right, sold. Here you is, King.
Oh, thank you. Hey, wait a minute. This ain't money.
No, but like you say, it's good as gold. It's that I owe you for $75 with your signatures you gave me 3 years ago. So long, Kingfish.
Well, how you like that? Paying me with one of my no-good IOUs. That's dishonest. George Kingfish Stevens speaking.
George, this is Sapphire. I got some good news.
Oh, what's that, honey?
A friend of mine that belongs to my club just called me up and told me she had a cottage up in Canada, and she ain't going to use it this summer, and we can have it all to ourselves.
Oh, that's wonderful.
So we ain't got to worry about our vacation no more, honey. In fact, we can leave right away. You see, we can drive up in the automobile.
The automobile. Oh, yeah, the automobile. Yeah. I'll tell you, honey. I'll speak to you later about the automobile. I'm busy right now, honey. Goodbye. Oh, me. Oh. Well, it ain't no use letting a lot of tears start running down my cheeks here. I got to look on the bright side of this. And there's one thing certain. Can't see the sun when you're crying. A tear can hide the brightest sky of blue. You can't hear a song when you're sighing. No matter how the birds sing for you. Suppose you made believe your eyes were cloudy window panes. I'm sure you'd clean them up to look for rainbows when it rains. You can't see the sun when you're crying. So smile and let the sun shine through. You can't see the sun if you're gonna cry. So dry your eyes. You can hide the brightest sky of blue. You can hear a song when you're sighing. No matter how the birdies sing for you. Suppose your eyes were cloudy window panes. You know you'd clean them up to look for the rainbow when it rains. You can't see the sun when you're crying. So smile and let the sun smile and have your fun. Smile and let every little thing come shine. hello there, Shorty. How is you?
Well, I've been doggone it. I'm surprised. I didn't expect it. But hi, Kingfish.
Shorty, I believe I'll sit down in your barber chair here and have a shave and a haircut.
I refuse to give a haircut today, Kingfish. But I'll give you a shave.
Yeah, well, why will you shave me and not give me a haircut?
I'm too nervous to hold a pair of scissors.
Shorty, I come here to tell you that me and my wife has been invited by a friend of hers to take a cottage up in Canada for a vacation.
Canada? I went down to the depot last summer to buy a ticket for Canada.
Yeah, well, where was you going?
I was going to Saskatchewan. That's why I didn't go.
Tell me this then, Shorty. You ain't never been to Canada, huh?
Oh, yeah, years ago, I used to make my living up there trapping.
Was you a good trapper?
Oh, I was the fastest trapper in Canada. The very fastest.
Sure enough.
Oh, yeah. One day I went out into the woods. I set the trap. I covered it up very careful. I stayed real quiet. And in 5 seconds, the trap snapped.
Yeah, what'd you catch?
My foot.
Listen, Shorty, me and my wife is invited up to Canada, but I done sold my car to Andy, and I know you bought a new car this year. I'll give you $10, no questions asked, if you'll give up your car for 2 weeks.
You give me the 10.
There you is. Where is it?
At the auto loan company. There's $200 due on it.
Well, hello there, Andy. I hear you bought the Kingfisher's automobile. You must be in pretty good financial standing.
Well, since I got that car, I've certainly been on my feet.
You mean, you mean the car don't run good? The Kingfish told me it had puncture-proof tires.
I'll say they're puncture-proof. He had sand in them. I can tell time by the right front tire.
How you do that, son?
It's got a hole in it that works like an hourglass. Takes 2 hours and 20 minutes to run out.
Well, I guess you'll take your new gal out riding a lot, won't you?
Oh, yeah. As soon as I got the car this morning, I took her out in the country. We parked, and then when I wanted to start the car, there I was, stuck.
Oh, did you run out of gas?
No, I run out of sand.
When you take your gal out riding, you ought to never leave the beach, son.
Yes, sir.
Well, Andy, old boy. Well, hello there, Kingfish.
Come in, Kingfish.
Well, hello there, boys. Andy, I want to talk confidential to you.
Yeah.
Well, there goes a big deal. I'll see you all later. So long.
Hey, wait a minute, Amos. Wait a minute. Do me a favor, will you?
What's that, Andy?
I got to pump up the spare tire. Stop by the building supply company and get me a bucket of sand, will you?
Okay.
Say, Kingfish, what you out chiseling now?
Brother Andy, when something nice happens to me and my wife, I want to share it. And you was the first one to think of. Me and my wife has been invited up to Canada by one of her friends. She's going to turn her cottage over to us.
Well, why did you think of me?
Well, I thought you might drive me and my wife up there. We'll make room for you in your car, and then you can tour around Canada. And while we is there, you tour all over to Canada and pick us up on the way back.
Yeah, but what'll I do in Canada?
What will you do in Canada?
Yeah.
One of the greatest hunting places in the United States is up in Canada. Oh, that's a hunter's paradise.
I ain't even got no gun.
Well, I'll lend you my bow and arrow. That's much safer.
Yes?
Hey, you ain't never heard nobody getting killed with unloaded bow and arrow, is you?
No, well, I'd like to go up there and shoot myself a covey of mooses.
This is the right time, all right. The moose season just opened up last week.
Yeah, maybe I could get some antlers.
Yeah, you're in luck again. The antler season opens up tomorrow. Yeah.
Tell me this, Kingfish. What kind of equipment I need to hunt moose?
Well, you ain't got to have no trouble there, Andy. You just take a moose horn along with you.
Okay, I'll take it. But will the moose know how to blow it?
Oh, sure he will. Yeah.
Is it any duck hunting up
Oh,
there?
plenty duck hunting. The country is loaded with duck blinds.
What's them?
Well, that's where you hide from the ducks.
Well, what you want to hide from them? You got a gun and they ain't. How about fishing?
Oh, the fish streams up there is really loaded. In fact, a friend of mine was standing on the bank, putting a salmon egg on a hook. A trout jumped up into the water and bit him on the hand. He got a big scar on his hand where the trout bit him. Oh, yeah.
You know, I'd like to catch one of them big stuffed fish on a board so I could hang it right on my wall.
Well, I tell you, you spear them, you see. The nice part of it is if you miss the fish, you hit the board, you see that? Or you bound to bring something back every time.
No, Kingfish, I was just thinking, it ain't gonna work. I would be willing to drive you up there, but I know my gals want to leave town, and I ain't going without her. We done made agreement. We're going to stick together.
Well, now, listen, Andy, you owe it to me and my wife to take us up there as long as you got my automobile.
Nothing doing.
Well, now, wait a minute. You got it with my no-good IOU, and I'm going to call up and make an appointment with my lawyer and see what I can do.
Go ahead. I'm leaving. That big bum sucker.
Well, hello there, Brother Andy. How is you?
Well, Fred Gwendell, what you doing in this neighborhood?
Well, just been across the street getting a haircut. Andy, got the hair right there in my pocket. Got it right there in my pocket.
Got your hair in your pocket?
Yes, Andy, I'm a newspaper man. Always saves my clippings. Ha ha, ain't I, dog?
Congratulate me, Gwendell. I just bought an automobile.
Automobile's a dangerous thing, Andy. Dangerous thing. A few years ago, I was hit by an automobile, broke both my legs. 2 legs broken.
What'd you do?
Well, I took the owner of the automobile in the court, and I threw him up one side and down the other. He testified, and then they called on me, but I lost the case.
How come you lost it?
Didn't have a leg to stand on, ain't I, killer?
Well, the Kingfish wants me to drive him up to Canada.
Oh, Canada's a beautiful place up there. You will love that country, Andy. Oh, that fur trapping up there is really something. Boy, that fur country up there is loaded with expensive fur.
Loaded, huh?
Oh, expensive fur is so plentiful up there, Andy, that even the silver foxes wear mink. Shut your mouth, Wendell, and get out of here. So long,
April showers may come your way. They bring the flowers that bloom in May. So if it's raining, have no regret, because it isn't raining rain, you know. It's raining violets, and where you see clouds up on the hill, you soon will see clouds of daffodils. So keep on looking for a bluebird and listening for his song whenever April showers come along. I'm singing in the rain, just singing in the rain. What a glorious feeling, I'm happy again. I'm laughing at clouds so dark up above. The sun's in my heart and I'm ready for love. Let the stormy clouds chase everyone from the place. Come on with your rain, I've a smile on my face. Walking down the lane with a happy refrain and singing in the rain. And where you see clouds up on the hill, you soon will see clouds of daffodils. So keep on looking for a bluebird and listening for its song whenever April showers come along.
Well, hello there, LaGuardia. How's my lawyer?
Come in, Kingfish. I just got back a minute ago.
Where was you?
I was down at the Columbia University. They had a reunion today at the Columbia Law School, class of 28.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, wonderful luncheon. Boy, am I full. Then after lunch, they were going to have a lot of speeches about the old alma mater, see, but I left.
Oh, why?
Yeah, I didn't go to Columbia.
Well, you know, I know a lawyer in this town that went to a certain university And now he's just bored. They won't let him go into court.
Well, I graduated in law from a correspondence school. They won't even let me go in the post office.
Tell me this, LaGuardia, has you been busy today?
I was in court all morning defending my client.
Yeah, what was the charge against him?
He was arrested for playing Drop the Handkerchief.
Drop the handkerchief?
Yeah, the handkerchief dropped off his face and the cops recognized it.
Yeah, I bet there's a lot of crime going on at that. Is the electric chair Sing busy?
Busy? Oh, man, they had to put an electric driving post.
Let's get on to business here. Now, look here. I sold Andy my automobile, and he paid me with one of my old IOUs that was 3 years old.
3 years old?
Yeah. Now, that's just the question. Is the IOU good that long? You know anything about the statute of limitations?
The statute of limitations. Is that the one with the fella on the horse?
Oh, no. I'm talking about an IOU.
Ain't they paying for that statute yet?
No. Now, listen. This morning, my wife phoned me that a friend of hers invited us up to Canada to take their cottage. Now, Andy won't drive up there because he's in love with a gal, and he won't leave unless she goes with him, and she don't want to leave New York.
Oh, well, play on her feelings, Bud. Tell her that Andy's a sick man. He ain't got but a short time to live. See that? He ought to go away for his health, and then if she loves him, she'll go away with him.
Yeah, you got an idea there. I'll make believe Andy has only got 3 months to live. I'll go in the gal's house first as Andy's doctor, and then have Andy come in a little later. So long, LaGuardia.
Yeah, wait. Now, I'll walk out with you. See, I got to go home and put on my tuxedo. I'm going out tonight.
Oh, where are you going?
They're having a buffet supper tonight at Columbia after the speeches is over.
Oh, yeah. Well, I hope this works out. Good afternoon. I'm Dr. John Smith, Ph.D., DDT, and all them things, yeah?
Dr. Smith, what can I do for you?
Well, I happen to be the personal physician for Andrew Brown. And knowing that you have been associated with him in a romance way, I wanted you to be the first to know.
Oh, is there anything wrong with Mr. Brown, Doctor?
Well, Mr. Brown ain't in the best of health. In fact, 3 months from now, he'll be the late Mr. Brown.
The late Mr. Brown? Doctor, are you sure?
I'm positive. I never misses on my diagnosis.
But Andy seems so healthy.
Yeah, but don't let that fool you, miss. Good health can't help a man when he's dead.
But, Doctor, have you called in specialists?
Well, I ain't got 'em, miss. I happen to be a specialist in the field of patients that ain't got long to live. I've got some of the shortest case histories in the medical profession.
I never heard of that type of specialist.
Well, there's something new in the business. The patients, with patients living only a few months, it gives us doctors the longest summer vacation. You see what I mean?
Oh, excuse me, Doctor. I'll get it.
Hello, Josephine, honey.
Oh, Andy, darling, the doctor's here, and he told me everything.
Yes, Mr. Brown, I considered it my duty as a doctor to tell her the whole truth.
Well, Josephine, now that you know that I got exactly 3 months to live, don't make no plans for the 28th of July.
Yeah, don't make no plans for the 29th either. He might linger a day extra. I can't always say that.
To hear this sad news. What's wrong with him anyway, Doctor?
Well, Mr. Brown is suffering from a very rare malady. A thing called hereditary hydrophobia.
Hereditary hydrophobia?
Yes, Mr. Brown inherited the hydrophobia from his father and the hereditary from his mama. You see?
Yeah, Mama had the worst case I ever seen.
Oh, good heavens, Doctor, do you think there's any chance of me getting anything from Andy?
Well, there might be. He ain't made out his will yet. I don't know what he wants to do.
Yes, Josephine, I...
Mr. Brown, I don't like that. That sounds like you was a little ahead of schedule there. That's a June cough you got, and it ain't even May yet, you know.
Is it really that serious, Doctor?
Yeah, well, he's got exactly 3 months.
Doc, just when you figure on me going?
Well, I figure, Mr. Brown, that you was due to depart on Monday, July the 28th at 8 p.m. That's Eastern Standard Time, of course.
Oh, Doctor, what can I do to save him?
Well, there's only one thing that might help him. If he could get away from the automobile fumes of New York and inhale the fresh carbon monoxide of a place like Canada, the trip might save him.
Well, if that cure is hereditary hydrophobia, I'll cooperate 100%, Doctor. You can depend on me.
Thank you.
I'm glad you're home, George. I've been waiting all day.
Well, hello, Sapphire, darling. Well, everything is all set to drive up to Canada.
I'm already packed, and here's all your stuff laid out.
Oh, yeah, I'll put it to...
I'll get it. Hello. Oh, hello there. Oh, I'm fine. What's that? Really? Don't know. Oh, that's too bad. Oh, sure, I understand. All right. Goodbye.
What's the trouble?
We ain't going to that little cottage in Canada because there ain't enough room for us.
Why not?
The woman that invited us up has got a daughter that's in love with a fella, and they're taking him up there to cure his hereditary hydrophobia.
I got a right to sing the blues. I got a right to feel low down. I got a right to hang around, down around the river. A certain man in town just brought me down. All I see for me is misery. Got a right to sing the blues. Got a right to mourn and sigh. I got a right to sit and cry down around the river. I know the deep blue sea, will be calling me. It's calling me. Say what you will and what you choose. I've got a right to sing the blues. I got a right to sing the blues. I got a right to mourn and sigh. I got a right to sit and cry down around the river, Man River. No, the deep blue sea will be calling me. Say what you will and what you choose. I'll sing the blues. What can I lose? I've got to sing the blues.
The Amos and Andy Show has come to you through the worldwide facilities of the United States Armed Forces Radio Service, the voice of information and education.
Colgate Dental Cream to clean your breath while you clean your teeth and help stop tooth decay, and Luster Cream Shampoo for soft, glamorous, caressable hair bring you Our Miss Brooks, starring Eve Arden. Yes, it's time once again for Eve Arden in another comedy episode of Our Miss Brooks, written by Al Lewis. Well, the football fever is sweeping through our schools once more, and Madison High School, where our Miss Brooks teaches English, is no exception.
No, indeed. Most of the kids at Madison eat, sleep, and talk nothing but football. Of course, it doesn't affect me one way or another. When I start my class in the morning, I simply bark the signal for order, call my monitors into a huddle, and with a single wing to the right, do a reverse line buck through the second act of Macbeth. Last Wednesday, when Walter Denton, one of my pupils, joined my landlady, Mrs. Davis, and me at breakfast, I chided him about not doing his homework properly. His reaction was instantaneous.
I don't see how you can say that, Miss Brooks. Why, ever since the fall term started, I've been doing my football religiously.
State dress.
Now, are you quite sure, Walter, that those little coffee cakes and some milk will be enough for you?
No, ma'am.
That's all I've got in the house.
Oh, then it'll be enough.
This boy's a realist.
I wish I had something else to offer you. A growing boy should eat a big breakfast, especially an athlete like Walter.
Athlete?
Yeah, I told Mrs. Davis about it before you came into breakfast, Miss Brooks. I'm going out for the team this year. I've just got to get my letter.
You? But, Walter, you don't seem to have too much aptitude for athletics.
Who hasn't? Well, the only reason I didn't make the football team last year was because I hurt my arm trying out for the baseball team.
Did you make the baseball team, dear?
Oh, no, Mrs. Davis. But only because I hurt my foot trying to get my M in track. And I'd have made that, too, if my ribs weren't so sore from water polo.
Well, that's one thing about Walter. If he doesn't get his M from Madison, he'll get it from the Mayo Brothers Clinic. But maybe you'll be luckier this season, Walter. Now, as soon as you finish moistening your fingers and picking cake crumbs off the tablecloth, we can get started for school.
Okay, Miss Brooks. Gee, if I do make the team, I'll be playing alongside my pal Stretch Snodgrass. He's one of the best athletes Madison ever had, you know.
Really?
Sure. He's a three-letter man.
He's a three-letter man in my English class, too. After A, B, and C, he's a goner.
Well, we're almost there, Miss Brooks. We'll park down by the athletic field if you don't mind. Stretch might be working out early this morning.
All right, Walter. You're certainly fond of the kid, aren't you?
Yeah, he's my buddy, Miss Brooks. And I want you to know that we're sure grateful to you for keeping him eligible this year. Gosh, if you didn't help him with his studies after school, I don't know what would happen.
I do.
Well, here's the football field. I'll just roll up these windows and lock the door.
Well, you've got the ball. Why aren't you running with it?
Gee, it came right through the window. Are you all right, Miss Brooks?
If I am, I owe it all to my shatterproof skin.
Yeah, sorry, folks. I don't usually kick them that crooked.
Oh, that's okay, Stretch.
Gosh, look at all that glass. Lucky the laces weren't cut. That football is school property.
Well, I'm school property, too. Let's take a look at my laces.
Well, I'm sure glad you're okay, Miss Brooks. Well, the reason I'm working out this early is because they're remodeling my room at home, and I had to sleep on our drafty back porch, and I got a bad king in my leg.
You got a king in your leg?
Yeah, you know, like when you pull a ligament.
Yeah, those ligaments can sure cause a lot of trouble.
Why are they remodeling your room, Stretch?
Well, you know, our living quarters are behind my father's pet shop.
Yeah?
And Dad got a big shipment of marmosets in the other day, and he needs more space. But it's only temporary. It'll take a few weeks to switch the bedrooms around, then I'll be back indoors again.
Yeah, but meantime, you can get a bad draft and pull another ligament.
Or even bruise a tendon.
No kidding, Stretch. You got to find another place to sleep.
Walter's right, Stretch. Wait a minute. Haven't you got an aunt who lives alone?
You mean the one you met at the movies the other night?
Yes. She seemed inordinately fond of you.
Oh, that's just the way she acts. She really likes me. But she lives way out on Clark Street. That's halfway to Clay City.
Look, if you're worried about getting to school in the morning, Stretch, I'll be happy to pick you up and drive you in. After all, if we're going to be on a football team together, we'll be practicing a lot in the mornings.
Gee, that's awful nice of you, Walter. I'll call Aunt Minnie before school this morning. I'm sure she won't mind, and then I'll have my dad move my things out there in our truck.
Oh, great.
Maybe the marmosets would carry them over for you.
Well, I'm sure glad you got the idea for me to move, Miss Brooks. That porch is pretty drafty. Well, I'm going to practice a little while longer. Well, how about you, Walter? Want to work out?
Oh, sure, Stretch. How about you, Miss Brooks? Want to watch?
No, thanks, Walter. I'd better get into school. Mr. Conklin wants to see me before my first class.
Well, okay, but you don't know what you're missing. Old Stretch here sure has an educated toe.
Good. Let's hope it may one day spread to his brain.
Miss Brooks, I've summoned you here to my office to commend you for the splendid work you're doing with Stretch Snodgrass.
Well, thank you, Mr. Conklin.
But you've got to keep that boy eligible for football. If Madison's team doesn't make a presentable showing this season, I'll never hear the end of it from Jason Brill.
Clay City's principal?
The same. He's the bane of my existence, Miss Brooks. We've been rivals a good many years.
Oh, even before you were principals of rival schools?
Before we were teachers. Even in state normal, I found him abnormal. He'll go to any lengths to defeat and embarrass me. Now, Brill phoned me last night and said he'd be dropping in to see me this morning. He said he'd have a juicy bit of news for me. Well, if he thinks he's got juicy news for me, I've got still juicier news for him. Do you know what it is, Miss Brooks?
You're opening an orangeade stand.
Please. I just learned that Biff Mooney, one of the greatest college football players, is interested in a high school coaching job in this part of the country. I've already opened negotiations for his services by mail, and it's a foregone conclusion that he'll accept my offer. I can't wait until I see the expression on Brill's face when I tell him about it.
In some states, that laugh would be banned.
Come in.
Well, good morning, Osgood.
Good morning to you, Jason. I have a juicy bit of news for you this morning.
Well, I have a juicy bit of news for you, too, Osgood. Oh, pardon me. How are you, Miss Brooks?
Juicy, thanks.
Osgood, I've just signed Biff Mooney to coach the Clay City football team this season.
Well, isn't that nice? Now I'll just tell you what I've got up my...
Biff Mooney!
Remember that expression you were waiting to see on Mr. Brill's face?
Yes?
You're wearing it.
Now, see here, Brill. In the first place, I don't believe a man like Mooney would be knucklehead enough to sign with your outfit. But even if he has, a good coach can't make a team without material.
Material? Why, last season our backs went through your line like it was damp cheesecloth.
Well, it's not going to be that way this season, Mr. Brill.
Go ahead, Miss Brooks. Tell him.
This season, it's going to be dry cheesecloth. We've got some great players on the squad. Players like Stretch Snodgrass.
Stretch Snodgrass? Who's he?
That's him.
What was that?
Pardon me, Osgood. Is that a football in your lap, or have you gone off your diet?
I've told those kids 1,000 times to go... Come in.
Well, I'm awful sorry, Mr. Conklin, but I'm afraid I kicked my football in here.
I'm afraid you did, Stretch. But I don't understand why. I thought I told you to confine your practicing to the other end of the field.
But I did, Mr. Conklin. That's where I kicked it from.
Well, there's absolutely no excuse in the world for... Nice kick, boy!
You mean to tell me that ball was propelled here by that boy's foot?
It wasn't flown here by one of his Blue Jay corn plasters.
That, Mr. Brill, is our Stretch Snodgrass, one of the greatest triple threat quarterbacks in the country. Stretch, this is Mr. Brill, principal of Clay City High.
Hi, sir.
Hello, son. Tell me, where did you learn to kick like that?
Oh, it's just natural with me, I guess. But if you don't mind, I'd rather not discuss football no more this morning. I just got some bad news about my pal, Walter Denton. He's been cut off the football squad.
Why, Stretch?
Because he was the 29th man on it, and we only got 28 uniforms.
Well, it would be a little embarrassing if he was sent in as a substitute.
I don't see how a spindly pippet like Denton could go out for the team in the first place. He couldn't carry a football in a wheelbarrow.
Please, Mr. Conklin, you're talking about my pal. There's nothing he wouldn't do for me. Gosh, when he heard I was moving out to my aunt's place on Clark Street, he even offered to pick me up every morning.
Did you say you were moving to Clark Street?
Yes, sir. It's way out in the 3900 block.
Yeah, but that's halfway to Clay City. Why, you're in a district that... Why don't we have lunch together this afternoon, boy? Stay in the school cafeteria? About 12? Just the two of us?
From the picture you were meant for me?
Now, see here, Brill.
Tell me, boy, do you kick them that far often?
Well, without I should do any boasting, I almost never done no kicking which the ball don't travel over 70, 80 yards hardly.
Amazing. And how do you pass?
In English, by the skin of his teeth.
Our Miss Brooks, starring Eve Arden, will continue in just a moment, but first, here is Vern Smith. Now, proof that brushing teeth right after eating with Colgate Dental Cream helps stop tooth decay before it starts. Continuous research, hundreds of case histories, makes this the most conclusive proof in all dentifrice research on tooth decay. Eminent dental authorities supervised hundreds of college men and women for over 2 years. One group always brushed their teeth with Colgates right after eating. The other followed their usual dental care. The group using Colgate Dental Cream as directed, using Colgates exclusively, showed a startling reduction in average number of cavities, far less tooth decay. The other group developed new cavities at a much higher rate. No other dentifrice offers proof of these results. Modern research indicates decay is caused by mouth acids, which are at their worst after meals or snacks. When you brush your teeth with Colgates right after eating, you help remove acids before they can harm enamel. Yes, Colgate contains all the necessary ingredients, including an exclusive patented ingredient for effective daily dental care. And remember, Colgate cleans your breath while it cleans your teeth. Always use Colgate Dental Cream right after eating to help prevent new cavities, help stop tooth decay before it starts.
All during my morning classes, I worried about Jason Brill having lunch with Madison's star quarterback. When I communicated my fears to Mr. Conklin, he said,
Miss Brooks, we've got to find out what that blackguard is up to at all costs.
So when lunch period finally rolled around, I followed the blackguard into the school restaurant and borrowed an apron from one of the girls behind the steam table.
Come over here to this corner table, Stretch. We won't be disturbed here.
Okay, Mr. Brill.
Now, sit down, my boy. Now then, there's something I must talk to you about in strictest confidence.
In strictest confidence?
It concerns your football career.
Who gets the lima beans?
Miss Brooks. I thought this was a self-service cafeteria.
Oh, it is, Mr. Brill, except when we have a distinguished visitor like yourself. Then I like to see that he's well taken care of. I brought you each the blue plate.
Just what I wanted. Succotash and lima beans. Thanks, Miss Brooks.
You're perfectly welcome, Stretch. Now, please continue with your confidential conversation, gentlemen.
You were saying, Mr. Brill, that you wanted...
Yeah, I wanted to tell you what a lovely day it is. Sun shining, not a bit humid, although cumulus clouds do seem to be gathering in the east. In fact, it looks like we might be in for a bit of a blow.
This is going to be a weather report. I might as well blow, too. I'll go get some dessert for you.
Do that.
Now then, Stretch, I'll come right to the point. In your present address on Clark Street, you're eligible to enter Clay City High, and that's what I want you to do. Transfer immediately.
Transfer? From Madison?
Exactly. You said yourself that your pal Walter Denton couldn't get on your football team because there's no uniform for him. Isn't that right?
Yeah, but...
Well, every American boy should have the right to play football. Shouldn't he? Of course he should. Now, with you off the Madison team, there'd be another uniform available for Walter.
Well, I never thought of it like that.
Well, think of it.
Gee, on account of me, Walter won't get to play at all. He'll never get his letter in. Gosh, fine pal I am.
Yes, I don't know why he even talks to you. Now, Stretch, I've got to get back to Clay City High at once, but I've arranged for our new coach, Biff Mooney, to meet you outside your main gate after school.
Biff Mooney? Is he your new coach?
Yeah, of course. Now, Biff will accompany you to your parents, Stretch, and get their consent to the transfer. It's just a formality, you understand.
Yes, sir. I guess if it's going to help Walter, I'll have to do it. But I hate to think of what Mr. Conklin will say when he hears about this.
Don't forget about Mr. Conklin. We know that what we're doing is right. It's for our pal's happiness. There's absolutely no reason to be afraid of Mr. Conklin.
Then I'll go right down and ask him for the transfer.
You wait, boy. Wait till I get out of the building.
So you see, Mr. Conklin, every time I got near the table, they were talking about the weather.
Well, perhaps our fears were exaggerated, Miss Brooks. Granted, Brill might try to get away with something. Oh, come in. Well, it's Stretch Snodgrass. Come right in, my boy. Sit down. Here, take my chair. Sit by the window. Shall I open it for you? You want the fan on?
Hot towel? Pedicure?
Mr. Conklin, you don't know what I'm here for.
If you're worried about that window you broke this morning, forget it. What a kick that was.
Thanks, but But you still don't know what I want, Mr. Conklin.
Name it, and it's yours. What is it you want, my boy?
I want to transfer to Clay City High.
Certainly. I'll just sit down at my desk, get a pen, and fill out the necessary... transfer to Clay City High!
Gauze, penicillin.
That's pirate! What poppycock did Brill feed you at lunch, Stretch?
Well, he didn't feed me no poppycock.
It was succotash.
But he can't get away with it this time. No matter what he told you, you can't transfer to Clay City. You don't live in their district.
Oh, I do now.
What?
Well, I usedn't to, but I do now. You see, sir, I've moved in with my aunt, and she lives right near Clay City.
Moved in with your aunt? And whose bright idea was that?
If you'll excuse me, I'm going to lie down somewhere.
Miss Brooks!
In front of a streetcar, I think. Oh, let me explain, Mr. Conklin. Stretch was sleeping in a draft, and I thought it would
That's
be so much...
your trouble, Miss Brooks. You think too much. Stretch, know about this transfer yet?
No, sir. They just know I'm going to live with Aunt Mamie. But I'm meeting Biff Mooney after school, and he's going to ask them for their permission.
Stretch, let me ask you a question. In all the years you've been here, Mr. Conklin has always treated you fairly, hasn't he? I'll rephrase the question. In fact, I'll forget it. Just promise me that you'll drop into my classroom after school today.
Sure, Miss Brooks. That is, if somebody will tell Biff Mooney to wait for me.
We'll take care of Biff, Stretch. Now, remember, I want you to come to my classroom immediately after school.
Okay, Miss Brooks. See you later.
Right, Stretch.
Bye, Mr. Conklin.
Not goodbye, Stretch.
Just
aloha. Well, Miss Brooks, it was you who got us into this situation.
And I'll get us out of it. And I think I can, Mr. Conklin. I think I've got a plan.
A plan?
Supposing, instead of being taken to Stretch's house, Biff Mooney were taken to my house.
I don't understand. Stretch wouldn't take him to your house.
No, the real Stretch wouldn't. And Stretch's real parents won't be there either. But Biff Mooney doesn't know Stretch from a hole in the ground, does he?
Come in. Oh, it's Walter Denton.
I was just looking for Harriet, and I
Mr.
thought...
Conklin, shake hands with a hole in the ground.
I just can't believe that you're Stretch Snodgrass.
Well, sure I am, Mr. Mooney. Who did you think was?
Well, you just don't sound like Mr. Brill said you would. The way he described it, you talked, well, differently.
What's the way I talk got anything to do with? Gee, I ain't never said nothing to get insulted for it by nobody, hardly.
I take it all back.
Well, this is the house, Mr. Mooney. Come on in. My old lady always leaves the door open for me.
All right, Stretch.
Oh, there's my dear old Mom in the rocker. Mom, I want you should meet Biff Mooney.
I'm very pleased to make your acquaintance, Mrs. Snodgrass.
Likewise, I'm sure, Mr. Mooney.
If you'll pardon my saying so, ma'am, you seem hardly old enough to be the mother of such a big boy.
Ain't it the truth? Now, what can we do for you, Coach?
Coach? Well, how did you know I was a football coach?
Well, it's a cinch you don't crochet no doilies for a living. What a built on him.
He wants me to transfer from Madison to Clay City High, Ma.
Oh, now that's a serious step.
I know it is, Mrs. Snodgrass. You see, it's for the boy's own good, and that's why I'm here today, to get you to acquiesce.
Stretch, this guy's getting fresh. Turn him out.
Don't you see, ma'am, we just want your sanction.
My what?
You're okay.
You're okay, too, but what do you want?
We want Stretch to transfer to Clay City High.
Well, I don't know. This here Madison learns him pretty good. I think we'll keep him where he's at.
Oh, please, Mrs. Snodgrass, now don't be hasty. Maybe we should discuss this with Mr. Snodgrass as well.
Oh, sure. Pop's right in the next room. I'll call him. Come on in here, Pop!
Meet the little man, Mr. Mooney.
Oh, I'm delighted to know you, Mr. Snodgrass.
Yous are too kind.
We'd like to get your permission for Stretch to transfer to Clay City High, Mr. Snodgrass. Oh, it's a wonderful school.
Nothing doing. Transfers is for streetcars. No, our boy wouldn't be happy in no Clay City High. That there school just don't offer no advantages, no how.
It don't offer for nothing, nohow.
Well, I don't see how you folks can talk like this.
Believe me, it ain't easy. I gotta go get supper ready, Pa. You get rid of, say goodbye to Mr. Mooney for me whenever he leaves. Like, right away, I hope.
Okay, Ma. See you later.
Well, I guess that's the story, Mr. Mooney.
No, now, wait, Stretch. Mr. Snodgrass, if you let me tell you something about Clay City...
Nothing doing. I ain't taking any chances with my only child's happiness. I love this boy.
Papa, dear.
Get out of here and help your ma in the kitchen. You see, Mr. Mooney...
I love you too, Papa.
I know. Now, Mr. Mooney, if you... Stretch, what are you hanging around for?
Kiss me, Papa.
Get out of here! He's such an affectionate little jerk. A youngster. We've always been quite close.
Hey, excuse me, Daddy, but I saw your car outside and the door was open, so
My daughter, Harriet. Harriet, go away, child.
But, Daddy...
Just a minute. I thought you said that Stretch was your only child.
Stretch?
Your brother, Harriet. Now go on out into the kitchen. Your mother will explain the whole thing to you.
Oh, is Mother here?
Stop the question. Just go in and see it.
Supper's on the table, Pa.
Well, if it isn't...
Yay! Oh, Harriet, how nice to see you. Why don't you go home to your mother?
Her mother?
She did come home to her mother. Ma!
But I don't understand.
I guess it's time we told you, Harriet. I am your mother. Your father and me, we've been secretly married for 16 years.
But I'm almost 17.
I'm over 17. I was hoping you wouldn't notice it.
What is this all about? Mrs. Snodgrass, I demand to know the truth.
Mrs. Snodgrass?
You might as well know the whole story, Harriet. As a poor but honest immigrant, I entered this country illegally. Your mother and I started out from the old country together.
But I, your mother, couldn't make it. They shot me at the border. Of course, years later, I was smuggled into the country.
With a group of Oriental laborers.
Oriental laborers?
Don't look down your nose at me, girl. I helped build Boulder Dam.
Here, Mrs. Snodgrass.
Mrs. Snodgrass? Miss Brooks ain't Mrs. Snodgrass. My mother's Mrs. Snodgrass.
Go away, boy. We're busy.
But, Mr. Conklin, I waited in Miss Brooks' classroom like she said.
Mr. Conklin? Miss Brooks? Hey, what is all this, and who are you?
Well, I'm Stretch Snodgrass.
Stretch Snodgrass?
Oh, did you call me Biff?
Biff. Are you Biff Mooney?
Well, I was when I came in here, but right now I was...
Oh, it was absurd to think that this ridiculous scheme would work. This is the real Stretch Snodgrass, Mr. Mooney. If he wants a transfer, I guess there's nothing we can do to stop him.
And after all that iodine I used at the border.
But I won't need no transfer now, Mr. Conklin. That's what I come over to tell Miss Brooks. I talked to the manager of the football team just now, and he said they're getting another uniform, so Waller can be on the team, too.
Oh, boy, that's great, Stretch. Hey, instead of living with your aunt, you can move in with me.
You can move in with me.
You can move in with... You can sleep in the gym.
Eve Arden as our Miss Brooks returns in just a moment, but first...
Dream girl, beautiful luster cream girl.
Tonight, yes, tonight, show him how much lovelier your hair can look after a Luster Cream shampoo. Luster Cream, world's finest shampoo. No other shampoo in the world gives Kay Duma's magic blend of secret ingredients plus gentle lanolin. Not a soap, not a liquid. Luster Cream shampoo leaves hair 3 ways lovelier. Fragrantly clean, free of loose dandruff, glistening with sheen, soft, manageable. Even in hardest water, Luster Cream lathers instantly. No special rinse needed after a Luster Cream shampoo. so gentle, Luster Cream is wonderful even for children's hair. Tonight, yes, tonight, try Luster Cream shampoo.
Dream girl, beautiful luster cream girl, you owe your crowning glory to a luster cream shampoo.
And now, once again, here is our Miss Brooks.
Well, after the smoke had cleared away, and also Walter, Stretch, and Harriet, Mr. Conklin and I took a very bewildered Biff Mooney by the arms and pointed him toward the nearest streetcar.
And now, Mr. Mooney, you may return to your unscrupulous employer and tell him that once again he has been soundly defeated by superior brain power.
Thank you, Mr. Conklin.
Mr. Conklin, I did get a contract from Mr. Brill, but if he's going to get me into things like this all the time, I've got a good mind not to sign it. Well, if you'll excuse me now...
Hold on there, boy. You say you haven't signed your coaching contract with Clay City?
That's right, sir.
Well. Mr. Mooney, why don't we have dinner together at my place? There's something I'd like to discuss with you.
Why, I guess that could be arranged.
Fine. We'll have dinner at 8. Care to join us, Miss Brooks?
No, thanks. I'm going to Clay City tonight to see the fireworks.
Fireworks?
Unless I've miscalculated, if you and Biff are having dinner at 8, Mr. Brill should be blowing his top at 9.
Next week, tune into another Our Miss Brooks show brought to you by Luster Cream Shampoo for soft, glamorous, caressable hair and Colgate Dental Cream to clean your breath while you clean your teeth and help stop tooth decay. Our Miss Brooks, starring Eve Arden, is produced by Larry Burns, directed by Al Lewis, with music by Wilbur Hatch. Mr. Conklin was played by Gail Gordon. Others in tonight's cast were Jane Morgan, Dick Crenna, Gloria McMillan, Leonard Smith, Frank Nelson, and Leif Erikson.
Men, do you shave with a lather or brushless shave cream? Palmolive shaving cream comes both ways, and whichever way you prefer to shave, you'll find that using either Palmolive brushless or Palmolive lather shaving cream can bring you more comfortable, actually smoother shaves. Here's the proof. 2,548 men tried the new Palmolive way to shave described on the tube. And no matter how they had shaved before, 3 out of every 4 got more comfortable, actually smoother shaves. Get Palmolive brushless or Palmolive lather shaving cream today.
For mystery liberally sprinkled with laughs, listen to Mr. and Mrs. North, the exciting, fun-packed adventures of an amateur detective and his beautiful wife. Tune in Tuesday evening over most of these same stations. And be with us again next week at the same time for another comedy episode of Our Miss Brooks. Bob Lamont speaking. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
From Hollywood, the Raleigh Cigarette Program starring Red Skelton with Ozzie Nelson and his music, Harriet Hilliard and Wonderful Smith. Played by Ozzie Nelson and his band. And now, here is Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer's newest comedy find, the star of our show, Red Skelton.
Thank you very much, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Say, Red, you look a little tired tonight. What have you been doing?
Well, I've been doing my Thanksgiving shopping in one of those supermarkets.
Supermarkets?
Yeah, that's a push cart that got a break. You know, all the Hollywood celebrities go there. I go there just to see them. Bob Hope, Fibber McGee and Molly, and Burns now. They were all there this week.
Say, Red, were they busy while you were there?
Yeah, they were so big, and what a crowd. I bought a pound of grapes, and when I came out, I had a gallon of wine.
Oh, by the way, Red, did that earthquake we had the other night, did that damage the market you go to?
Yeah, I was there at the time, and you know all the beans on one side of the store?
Uh-huh.
And all the corn on the other side?
Yeah. Well, what happened about the earthquake?
In the middle, succotash.
Say, some of those supermarkets are really particular, aren't they?
Yeah, I'll say they are. The one I go to, I walked in the other day and I says, give me some lamb chops without panties. The guy looked at me and he says, how old are you, bub?
Hiya, Red.
Oh, hello, Harriet. Say, did you enjoy going shopping with me in that supermarket?
Oh, I certainly did. But tell me, why do you always go shopping in your bare feet?
Well, you can never tell when some lady's going to drop her change. I was a little embarrassed running around that store, though, in my bare feet. It's such a high-class place, you know.
Oh, I'll say it's a high-class place. It's the first market I've ever seen with a cigarette girl.
Yeah, she was cute, too. But I thought she was a little bold.
Yeah, so did I, going around yelling, cigars, cigarettes, Hillside 4185.
That was probably her license number, you know.
Gee, the price of food certainly has gone up, hasn't it?
Oh, I don't think so. I got a dozen eggs for 65 cents.
You paid 65 cents for a dozen eggs?
Yeah, that's all. For 27 cents more, I could have got the yolks, too.
Oh, and the stores are so crowded with everybody shopping for Thanksgiving.
Yeah, you know, I went to this store to get a turkey, and I had to stand in line an awful long time.
Well, you weren't the only one who had to wait a long time, were you?
No, there was a pilgrim in front of me.
Oh, well, Thanksgiving only comes once a year, if you're stubborn about it.
Yeah.
Hiya, Red.
Yeah, how are you? Ozzy, say, did you go shopping at the supermarket?
No, I have jokes about the Piggly Wiggly.
Now, you were, too, in that supermarket because I saw you in the vegetable department. Were you shopping?
No, I was just grazing. You know, Red, it's amazing the fruits and vegetables you can get at this time of the year.
Oh, say, you know how the California people are always bragging about how big their vegetables are?
Yeah.
Well, I fooled them.
How?
Well, I pointed to some watermelon. I said, give me some of them cucumbers. The guy says, them ain't cucumbers, them's peas.
Well, I like to shop too, Red, but I sort of have to pick out what I want.
Yeah, well, you know, that kind of stuff got me in trouble in a market once.
Well, how do you mean?
Well, they had a big sign that says, don't pinch the peaches. A blonde came in, that's all I remember.
Smokers, no other cigarette on the market can match Raleigh's Golden Rich Tobacco Blend. And it's this exclusive blend that makes the big difference, that makes Raleigh so noticeably smoother and milder. And why is it called a Golden Rich Blend? Well, first, because only the golden tobaccos go into Raleigh's. Tobaccos that any expert will tell you are choicer, more expensive. And for a distinctive richness, no less than 31 different types of the best domestic and imported tobaccos are used, blended by the skilled hands of master craftsmen. Yes, Raleigh cigarettes excel where it makes the big difference, in the tobacco blend. And remember, Raleigh's give you valuable coupons, redeemable for over 70 luxury premiums. Friends, it pays to smoke Raleigh's, the pack with the coupon on the back. Raleigh cigarettes.
Of course you recognize, why don't we do this more often? In the next chorus, Harriet portrays a very, very young lady who has just spent an unfortunate afternoon with her boyfriend.
Why don't we do this more often? Those were my first thoughts that day. You told me such pretty things again and again. You're not a child, you know you're practically 10. You acted like such a big shot when you ordered ice cream cones for 2. You didn't have a dime, I had to pay the bill. I don't like you and I always will. And you say, why don't we do this more often? Well, why don't you act your age, Superman?
Well, I guess trouble knows no age, then. Harriet and I had a weird experience one evening. It all started harmlessly. We were driving along in our car, and she turned to me and said,
Why don't we do this more often? Just what we're doing tonight. Gee, but it's great to get the fresh country air. Let's get off the beaten path and just drive anywhere. We'll ride right on till we're tired and stop at some quiet hotel. A cozy little inn, a spot nobody knows, the kind you only see in moving picture shows. Why we don't do this more often, Ozzy can tell you the rest.
Why don't we do this more often? The memory gives me a fright. Our hotel was the Biltmore, so I was told. It was built more like it was plenty old. When I woke up the next morning, I phoned the clerk and I said, Hey, how do you get hot water in this chicken coop? He said, go down to the dining room and order soup. That's why we don't do this more often. After what happened that night, can you blame us? After what happened that night.
That was Ozzy and Harriet singing their own special version of Why Don't We Do This More Often. Well, come in.
Howdy, Mr. Scout.
Well, Wonderful Smith. Hey, what can I do for you, Wonderful?
Well, I wonder if I could get an advance on my last week's salary. Yeah. I'd like to buy a turkey.
Now, look, Wonderful, you've been on the air with me for 7 weeks, brother, and I can read you like a book. You don't want no turkey. The only thing you're interested in is gambling and clothes.
You'll find some women on page 3.
Say, Wonderful, what are you doing on Thanksgiving Day?
I've been invited to dinner over to my gal's house.
Oh, swell. Well, then you better brush up on your etiquette.
Huh?
Table manners. You know, I was talking to Hattie McDaniels about you. Said you were over to her house for dinner. You ate all the corn off the cob, held the cob up in the air, and says, Hey, Hat, put some more beans on this stick.
And she did. Maybe I ought to get some advice on this etiquette stuff. Please give me the phone, Mrs. Skelton.
Help yourself. It's right there.
Hello, operator? I'd like to speak to Miss Stump.
Stump? Say, for tips on etiquette, you should call Emily Post.
I know, but on my salary, I can only afford Stump.
Yeah.
Hello, Miss Stump? But this is Wonderful Smith. Miss Stump, I'm going over to my gal's house for Thanksgiving dinner, and I don't know exactly what to do. Oh, yes, ma'am, I is dressing. It's the law, you know.
She means, is it formal?
Well, this is my best suit I got, Mrs. Skelton. How do you like it?
Well, that jacket's a little long, isn't it?
That's the way I had it made. The pants ain't ready yet. What'd you say, Miss Stump? How's my table manners? Oh, I was a gentleman. Oh, no, Miss Stump. I wouldn't reach for anything. I've been to that house before. Getting anything off of that table is like putting your hand in a meat grinder. Only difference, with a meat grinder, you get your arm back. Well, goodbye, Miss Stump. Well, see you later, Mrs. Skelton.
Okay, Wonderful. Goodbye then now.
So Wonderful going out to dinner, huh?
Yes. Oh, I almost forgot. Listen, gang, you're all invited over to my house for a Thanksgiving dinner.
Oh, Red, that's wonderful. Thanks.
Now, look, you can all bring your wives, bring your friends, and if anybody knows a turkey, you can bring him, too.
Say, what do we do after dinner, Red?
Oh, we'll play games like the last time.
Okay, but this time you wash and I'll dry.
Yeah.
Well, sure will be fun to go out for Thanksgiving dinner.
Yeah.
I hate to stay at home neat in the kitchen. We got mice. You got mice?
No, we can't afford them. So, you know, I think Thanksgiving Day is really a lot of fun, but there's a lot of people who think it should be given back to the Indians. And to prove what I mean, tonight I'm going to show the different ways that people spend Thanksgiving. And first we'll start off with a football coach giving a pep talk to his family before going out to dinner. Now listen, gang. I want to talk turkey. This year we're going to a kickoff over at Aunt Lucy's. Last year they were over here on our home grounds. What happened? They got all the white meat, all the dark meat. We wound up behind it. Now this year, I want you to get in there and block those potatoes. Because after dinner's over, all it counts is who's got the most bones. Now we're going over there and eat. We're going to eat hard. There's one thing I want you to remember. As soon as you hear dinner served, I want you to spill coffee all over the tablecloth.
What for, Pop?
I understand they're no good on a wet ground. All right, Tom. Step up here at the blackboard. Now, what do you do when Uncle Wilbur tries to carry a drumstick for a first helping?
I take out Uncle Wilbur.
Right. Now, remember, fight clean. No gravy stains this year. When you come through that cranberry sauce, don't come out looking like the Crimson Tide.
Hey, Pop, what about me? What do I do?
Well, Joe, you're the shortest, so you stand on the table and run interference.
What do we do if Uncle Al intercepts a pass and snags one of the wings?
Well, we go into our wingback formation.
I've had this mob in strict training, Paul. They've been on a 9-day diet for 9 weeks.
Oh, one-man famine. All right, gang, now everybody around the table. We're going to try play 43. Here. You're offside there, son. Your fork went over the line of spinach. But I think we're all set now. Now, men, I want you to go in there and eat. Cut, slice, don't stop to chew, just swallow.
Okay, Pop. We'll be in there munching.
Fine. Now up to the shower, men. Get in your eating jackets. And when that whistle blows, I want you to come out biting. Children, I'm ashamed of you. Stampeding like that? It's a lucky thing I got out first. I'll pick up your mother.
Oh, I'm all right. I can eat with one hand. Tell me, Pa, confidentially, do you think we'll have a chance to carve a name for ourselves this Thanksgiving?
With this squad, we're cinched to wind up in the gravy bowl. Then we have the people who buy their turkey 3 weeks early so they can fatten them up. Then comes the time to dress it, and this is what usually happens.
Clem, where are you?
I'm out here.
Is the turkey ready?
No, we're talking things over.
Clem, you've got to do something about that Adam's apple. It's getting bigger every day.
You're looking at the turkey. This is me over here. You gotta stop picking on my Adam's apple. It ain't that big, you know. Oh, they went in the car again.
Well, hurry up and dress that turkey.
You know, I hate to kill him. We've had him so long, he seems like one of the family.
Well, maybe so on your side of the family, not mine.
Look at him. Look at him set up. I'm telling you, he's almost human. Look at him. You throw a stick and he fetches it back like a dog. I'm telling you, he's almost human. Can't we eat something else? I never liked turkey much anyhow.
Well, last year you got the best part.
Oh, yeah. Well, I still don't believe I got the nose. And if it was, let's not get nosy again this year, Bob.
Now, you're going to kill that turkey.
No, I can't. I can't do it. I can't do it.
Oh, here, put your head on my shoulder. You're crying.
Oh, it's nothing.
I know, but you're putting my cigarette out.
Give me that gun. I'll do like the Pilgrims did. I'll go out and shoot our dinner. Look, there's a wild turkey flying over now. Give me that gun. I'll get him.
Turkey.
Wait, I'll ask the pilot. He's getting out now. And the boys playing Take the A Train, and very good, too, if they do it. I mean, no, I'm kidding. Say, Ozzy, come over here. I got something, I got a story for you.
Well, fine, Red, let's have it.
Well, here's the way it is, Ozzy. Both are lined up on the gridiron, see? All set to go.
Oh, boy, what happens next?
Well, they turn on the heat and things begin to really cook.
Oh, boy.
Now, it's 3 down. I was hungry for more. There was 2 more coming up.
Now, wait a minute. If it's 3rd down, there'd only be 1 more coming up. Any football fan knows that.
Football? I'm talking about a swell waffle iron I got with my Raleigh coupons.
Well, gentlemen, there can be no misunderstanding about that electric waffle iron you get with Raleigh coupons. It's really a beauty. And, friends, there's a vacuum coffee brewer you can get to go along with it. Yes, and gorgeous silverware, too. These are only a few of the Raleigh premiums. There are over 70 more, all nationally advertised merchandise. You'll find many things you've been wanting for a long time, but just hesitated to spend that extra money for. And you can get all of them as a plus value by just smoking Raleigh cigarettes and saving the valuable coupons that come on the back. Now, we have a catalog which pictures in full color all the Raleigh premiums, and it's free. For your copy, just drop a penny postal card to Raleigh in care of the station to which you were listening. And, friends, tonight, switch to Raleigh cigarettes. Raleigh's Gold and Rich blend gives you a tastier, a far more enjoyable smoke. Ask for the pack with a coupon on the back. Raleigh cigarettes.
Say, that's very good advice, Truman.
Hey, Red.
Yeah?
What are some more things that usually happen on Thanksgiving Day?
Well, what I get a kick out of most of all is the youngsters. So we'll do that next. We have a mean little kid, who really has a time on Thanksgiving. This little brat messes around the kitchen getting in everybody's way, see? So I'll tell you what, Harriet. You be my mother and I'll be the little boy.
All right, Red.
Mummy, we ain't going to starve.
What are you talking about, Junior?
When you told Pop to dress that turkey, well, after he scolded him and picked all the feathers off of him, he hopped out of the pan and ran away.
Oh, Junior, why do you tell stories like that? The turkey has been in the oven for hours.
I knew I would find out where he was. Gee, you know, Mom, I'm kind of sorry we killed that old turkey.
You are?
Yeah. He put up a great fight, though, didn't he? 3 times he took the axe away from Pop.
Mm-hmm.
Ma.
Yes?
You think Pop will be out of the hospital by Christmas?
Yes, but he won't be able to shave his neck for a while. Now go away. Dinner will be ready in a few minutes.
Can I have this, Mom?
Put that celery down.
I like celery.
Company! Halt!
I'm hungry. Could I have a piece of jelly bread?
Sure, here's the bread. You'll have to spread the jelly on your face yourself.
Yeah.
Junior, stop eating that table. Junior, I told you to stop.
Oh, you broke my arm. You broke my arm. You hit me and broke my arm.
I didn't even touch you. I hit my own arm.
Oh, Did you hurt yourself, Mom?
No, now you sit here on this stool.
Okay.
You're a bad boy.
I know it.
You're a very, very bad boy.
Yeah, I say I am. Last night I set fire to Eddie Peabody. Mommy.
What is it?
Can I have Veronica Lake for Christmas?
I thought you wanted an electric train.
What do you think I am, a dope?
Listen, you just sit on your stool and be quiet.
All right. Mommy!
Yes?
Where'd I come from?
Be quiet.
Did Buck Rogers bring me?
No, you were left on the doorstep in a cage.
Yeah. Oh, look, here comes the kitty cat. Here, kitty. Kitty. I bet he's hungry, too. Here, kitty. Here, kitty.
Junior, stop pulling that cat's tail.
I ain't pulling it, Mom. I just holding on. He's doing the pulling. Oh, look. Hey, Mummy, look. He's tail here, but he ain't.
Junior! Oh, you're just kidding. Well, here, I want you to do me a favor.
Yeah?
Take this pumpkin pie next door to Mrs. Denny.
Yeah?
And be careful. It's got whipped cream on the top.
Oh, boy.
And hurry back, 'cause dinner's ready.
Oh, boy. Boy, don't that look good, huh?
Junior, get your fingers out of that pie.
I'll carry it like a bowling ball.
Oh, that kid is driving me crazy. His father's got to talk to him. And I'll bet the old boy will learn plenty.
Well, hello, Mommy. I is back. Can I go practice on the piano now? What am I saying?
No, your dinner's ready.
Oh, never mind dinner. I ain't very hungry. Somehow, I don't feel very hungry. I don't feel good. I think I got acid indigestion.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh, that's trouble.
Hello? Oh, hello, Mrs. Denny. What?
Uh-oh.
I just sent that pie over with Junior.
Better get some road map.
Oh, I'm beginning to get it. I'll call you back, Mrs. Denny. Junior, come here.
Put that shillelagh down and I will.
Junior, come here.
You'll never take me alive!
Junior, did you eat that whole pumpkin pie?
No, only half of it, the punk part.
Well, why didn't you eat all of it?
Well, what do you think I am, a pig?
What did you do with the half you didn't eat?
Well, I put some of it in this pocket and put a hunch of it over in this pocket.
Why, you...
Oh, what'd you do that for? I had a hunch in that pocket, too.
talking quite a lot tonight, you know.
Yeah, that's right, Brad.
Well, I think turnabout is fair play, so here is a word from our companion sponsor.
Yes, gentlemen, turnabout is fair play. If you're kind to your pipe will be kind to you. And the best favor you can do both is to smoke Sir Walter Raleigh. You see, Sir Walter Raleigh is extra cool burning, more even smoking, right down to the bottom of the bowl. That's why a Sir Walter Raleigh pipe load is sweeter, cooler, milder. But add to that the fact that Sir Walter Raleigh gives you a smooth, nut-like flavor and a pleasing He-Man aroma, and you've really got something. You've got Sir Walter Raleigh, the quality pipe tobacco of America. If you paid $100 a pound, you couldn't get finer. Yet Sir Walter Raleigh costs no more than ordinary tobacco. So tonight, ask for Sir Walter Raleigh.
We'll all be back at the same time next week. Red Skelton, Ozzie Nelson and his music, Harriet Hilliard, Wonderful Smith, and your announcer, Truman Bradley, who wishes you a most pleasant Thanksgiving. And ladies and gentlemen, I honestly believe we can all help to make this coming Thursday a day of real Thanksgiving for liberty-loving people all over the world if we make an extra effort to buy more United States savings stamps and defense bonds. And now, here's Red Skelton again.
Thank you very much, Brad. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. We're not a little early. We're not a little late. We're just right. Goodbye now. Happy Thanksgiving.
Red Skelton is heard on this program through the courtesy of the Metro-Goldwyn Mayer Studios. This is the Red Network of the National Broadcasting Company.
Jester A. Riley was leading the hectic life of a bachelor. He used to look forward with pleasurable anticipation to those quiet, restful evenings he would enjoy at home when he got married. And now, after 18 years of married life, let's witness a typical evening in the Riley home. As Riley, supper over, picks up the evening paper with a sigh of relaxation, opens it to the editorial page, and then... But while Riley sleeps blissfully, he is unaware that the door is slowly opening. Slowly, inch by inch, the door creaks open. Suddenly, the barrel of the gun appears in the opening. A gloved hand is aiming directly at Riley's head. Into the room steals a sinister masked figure. The gloved hand steadies the gun. A finger tenses on the trigger, and then...
All right, you rat, I got you covered.
Dad! Don't shoot! Junior, you shot me. Just because I owe you 4 weeks' allowance, you shot me.
Oh, it's only a cap pistol. You're not shot.
Oh, what are you doing with that gun?
I'm just playing. I'm Frank Barrett, the private eye, and I'm out to get you.
Yeah? Who am I?
You're Bonehead Barney, the murderous moron.
Quiet, Junior. The neighbors will hear you. I mean, how dare you?
What, didn't you ever hear it on the radio?
The radio. So that's where you get these crazy ideas. Give me that gun, Junior. I'm confiscating it.
Oh, no, Pop, don't take it.
Let go that gun, Junior.
Riley, Junior.
I said give me that gun. There.
Well, what on earth's going on here?
He was shooting at me with this gun.
Oh, it's only a toy.
Yeah, it's lucky for me it is. But if this had been a real gun, I'd be a dead moron. I mean, he's got to stop listening to those crazy radio programs of his.
What's wrong with him?
Well, there's plenty of good programs you can listen to without that junk.
Well, like what?
There's dozens. I'll show you. I'll get you something really educational.
All right, you rat. I got you coming.
I'll get another station.
All right, you rat. I got you covered.
Wait. Let's try this station here.
Ah, there. Good morning, Louisa.
There, that's better.
All right, you rats. I got you covered.
Wait a minute.
Won't you sit down, Angela? Thank you, Cynthia. What a heavenly morning. The heather is in full bloom on the moors.
That's more like it. You see how nice they talk?
Tea, Angela? Thank you, Cynthia.
Now, you listen to that, Junior. You'll learn manners.
Now, shall we get to the point, darling? You know why I'm here, darling. I love Sir Evelyn. I know, but you forget, darling, he's my husband, and I love him too, and I shall never give him up. I'm afraid you'll have to. We leave for Paris tonight. Sorry, darling.
The English is so polite.
Never. I adore Evelyn. He's the father of my children. Rather than give him up, I will see you dead. Cynthia, what are you doing with that gun? All right, you rodent. I've got you covered.
That's a losing fight. Did you ever hear junk like that?
Oh, I don't know. I found it kind of interesting.
Interesting. You're worse than Junior. Where did they get stories like that? So unbelievable. Here's this dame, just because another dame is in love with her husband, she takes out a gun and shoots her.
Well, any woman might if her home was at stake.
Oh, baloney. I'll prove it to you. I'll ask you one question. Suppose some woman was madly in love with me and wanted me to go away with her to, Pomona. Would you shoot her and risk going to the electric chair?
Why, of course. I wouldn't hesitate a moment. I'd let the hussy have it right between the eyes.
You would?
Yes.
Well, let's face it, I'm worth it.
Hi there, Riley.
Oh, hi, Gillis.
What's the matter, Riley? You look like you're thinking. Or is it a touch of indigestion?
No, I'm thinking. I just had a very odd conversation with Peg. And you know what she said?
How should I know? I ain't the kind of a guy who goes around snooping, eavesdropping on his next-door neighbor.
Well, I asked her what she'd do if another woman was in love with me, and Peg said that she'd shoot her and risk going to the chair.
Well, let's face it, you ain't waited.
Gillis, you heard.
Accidental. Your walls are so thin. They're made of a very poor grade lumber. Look, I got a splinter in my ear.
Gillis, you got no right hanging around my house.
Take it easy. I come over here to do you a favor. To give you this letter.
Letter? For me?
Yeah, it was delivered to my house by mistake.
Well, why didn't you come in instead of hanging around listening?
You're lucky I listened, because when I heard the conversation, I figured I'd better give you this letter in private. Look who it's from.
Bertha Ferguson, Brooklyn. I don't know any Bertha Ferguson.
Think back, Riley. Think back to Brooklyn.
Well, I left Brooklyn in 1939.
Think further back. Let your mind run amok.
Well, I got married.
Later back than that. Remember the Myrtle Avenue Social and Athletic Club?
Yeah.
Remember the hayride they had on the 4th of July?
Yeah.
Remember the girl you took on that hayride?
Yeah.
That's Bertha, your old flame.
Yeah. She was crazy about me. What's she writing to me for after all these years?
Open the letter and find out.
Yeah. Wonder what... Hey, this letter looks like it's been steamed open. Gillis, did you...
Riley, what do you take me for? You think I'm the kind of a sneak who would open up a private letter? Besides, it's a federal rap, 20 years.
Oh, I'm sorry, Gillis. Well, let me see. You stand over there. I don't want you to see it.
Okay.
Dear Chester, I guess you are surprised to...
Hear from me.
Hear from me. Well, it has been much too long. However, it will not be much longer, as I am making a visit to Los Angeles, and we can have a good old
reunion.
Reunion. We'll be at the Biltmore Hotel on the 10th.
11th.
Yeah, the 11th. Gillis, you read this. You did steam it open.
Accidental, I swear. I just happened to have it in my pocket while I was taking a Turkish bath.
You've got your nerve, you sneak.
Listen, Ray, don't worry about me. Worry about Bertha.
What have I got to worry about? I'll invite her over to the house.
Are you out of your mind?
What?
Don't you see Bertha is still madly in love with you?
Oh, no.
No. Look what she says in the letter. There.
It has been much too long. We have so much to talk about. Well, that don't prove nothing.
Read between the lines. Well?
Between the lines?
Yeah. Well?
It's blank between the lines.
Riley, believe me, I know women. This dame ain't coming 3,000 miles just to pick oranges. There's passion. Hidden through every line in that letter.
Oh, I can't believe it, Gillis. After all these years, how can she still love me? Am I so charming? Am I so attractive? Am I so handsome? You're right, she's mad about me. What'll I do?
Don't tell Peg she's coming. You know how Peg hates her.
She does?
Don't you remember the fight they had? Yeah. They was rolling all over the floor, pulling each other's hair. Because Bertha said she wanted to marry you, and Peg said she wanted to marry you.
Oh, but I was only 8 years old. Over 30 years have passed.
A woman is like an elephant. She never forgets. And if Bertha still eats the way she used to, she's an elephant.
Oh, well, this is awful. Today's the 11th. What if she and Peg meet? What'll happen?
Use your imagination.
I love Sir Chester. He is my husband, Bertha. And rather than let you have him, I'll see you dead.
She done it.
Done what?
Oh, Gillis, this is terrible. If Bertha comes to the house...
Don't give it a chance. Go to her place. To the hotel. Nip this in the bud.
But I can't do that.
You got it. Otherwise, they'll be at each other's throats like two tigeresses.
Oh, Gillis. Why wasn't I born homely instead of with this face? Hello, Gillis. You ready? Okay, I'll meet you outside. Give me 5 minutes. I gotta sneak out. I don't want Peg to catch on. I'm going down to Bertha's hotel.
Oh, Riley.
She's coming. I'll see you outside.
Riley, I want... Oh, you going out, dear?
Who, me? No. No, I'm not going out. Where have I got to go? What gave you the idea I'm going out?
Well, you got your hat and coat on.
Huh? Oh. Well, naturally, I have to wear my hat and coat. There's never any hangers in the closet.
Now, look, dear, if you want to go out, you can.
Well, I told you I'm not going out. I'm not going anyplace.
All right. Then how about a game of gin rummy?
When I come back. I mean, later.
Well, then you are going out.
No, just for a walk. Listen, Peg, what we talked about yesterday, about what you'd do if another woman wanted me, would you still do it?
What do you think?
I love Sir Chester. He is the father of my children. Rather than let you have him, I'll see you dead.
Oh, I gotta go. Listen, if somebody should call up Peg, I'll take it. Wrong number.
Oh, Riley, that was the doorbell that rang.
Oh, well, I'll get it.
All right, you rat, I got you covered.
Bertha, don't shoot!
Oh, Riley, it's not Bertha, it's Junior. And just who is Bertha?
Bertha? Oh, well, Junior, I told you to stop playing these crazy games. Where did you get that gun?
Oh, I found it behind the radio.
Yeah, well, give it to me. This time I'll hide it where you'll never find it.
What's the matter with you, Riley? Well, you're acting even stranger than usual.
A slip of the tongue, Peg, that's all. I'm okay. I'm perfectly normal for me.
Oh, what? Go for a walk.
Okay. Good night, Cynthia.
$12:01, $12:02. Oh, here's Bertha's room, 1203. You all set to go in?
No, wait, Gillis. Maybe I ought to come back tomorrow.
No, you gotta stop this vampire now. You wanted to break up your home?
No.
Then knock on the door.
Okay.
I said knock.
I'm knocking, can't you hear?
That's your knees.
I'm so nervous I don't know what I'm doing.
Riley, pull yourself together. Now, you remember what I told you to say?
Yeah. No, tell me again.
You got to do all the talking. Don't give her a chance to get started.
Yeah, but what do I say?
You say like this here. Yeah. Barbara, how long... Bertha, how long can love last? Everything is over between us.
How long can love last? Everything.
Then you say, it's only fortunate we found out before things went too far.
Fortunate before things went too far.
Then you tell her, it happened when we were too young to know what we were doing.
Too young to know what we were doing.
And then you give it the clincher. You say, nothing you can say can make me change my mind. Goodbye.
Nothing you can say can change my mind.
Then you beat it before she gets a chance to try it.
Yeah.
Knock. I'll wait out here in the hall.
Yes, what is it, please?
Well, I see, baby.
Chester! Oh, I recognized you the minute I heard your voice. Come on in, honey. Come in.
Listen, Bertha, I got something to tell you.
Sit down, honey. Give me your hat and coat. We got lots to talk about.
Yeah, listen,
Tell me, how's Peggy? How is Peggy, that sweet wife of yours?
Everything is over between us.
No. But you've been married 18 years.
Bertha, how long can love last? It's only fortunate we found out before things went too far.
Oh, you can't mean it. What about your two children?
We were too young to know what we were doing.
Oh, listen, Riley, maybe if I talk to Peg...
Nothing you can say can make me change my mind. Goodbye.
Well, how'd you make out, Riley?
I don't know. I was in a daze. I said what you told me.
Good. What did she say?
I don't know. I hope it works. Oh, Gillis, marriage is one headache after another. If you ain't worrying about bills, you worry about the kids getting sick. And if it ain't the kids, it's your mother-in-law. And if it ain't your mother-in-law, it's something else. When you ain't worrying about another man breaking up your home, you're worrying about another woman breaking up your home. I tell you, marriage is horrible.
But you love it, don't you?
Yeah, that's the horrible part of it.
And now back to the life of Riley with William Bendix as Riley, where we find Riley's wife, Peg, carrying on a somewhat puzzling telephone conversation.
Why, of course I remember you, Bertha. When'd you get into town?
Yesterday, didn't Riley tell you?
Oh, did he know?
Well, he was up to see me just now.
Oh, no. He didn't tell me.
Well, I guess he wouldn't, under the circumstances.
Well, what do you mean, Bertha?
Look, Peg, I'd like to talk to you about the divorce.
The divorce?
We can't talk about it over the phone. Can I come over?
Well, certainly.
I'll come over right away.
Well, all right, Bertha. Bye. Well, that's funny. I wonder who's getting divorced.
Oh, Peg, how's my sweet dumpling?
Well, your sweet dumpling just got a very peculiar telephone call, and I suspect you had something to do with it.
What phone call? How would I know anything about a phone call? I don't know what you're talking about. In fact, I didn't even know Bertha's in town. No, I take that back.
Riley, what are you hiding?
Now, wait, Peg. Let's keep our heads. Why get excited? There's nothing to get excited about. Absolutely nothing to get excited about.
Well, who's excited?
I am.
Riley, where were you just now?
Me? But nowhere. I don't remember. Wherever I was, I didn't go to see Bertha.
Now, Riley.
I didn't even go near the Biltmore Hotel. And I can prove it, too. Ask Gillis. He was there with me. No. No, I take that back.
Now, listen, Riley, you can't fool me. I know you saw Bertha, and I want to know what it's all about.
Well, it's this way. Bertha, look, Peg, I don't like to brag, but when you first met me, you must have noticed I was, well, different from other men.
Oh, yes, but I married you anyway. Now, what is all this about?
Well, it's nothing, Peg. Forget it. Nothing.
But why should Bertha phone me and say she wants to talk about some divorce?
Divorce? Don't believe her. You hung up, didn't you?
Well, no, I didn't. She's coming over here soon.
Well, don't let her in. I don't want to see her. I'm going out.
Riley, wait
don't
a minute.
believe a word she says. No matter what she tells you, remember, Peg, I love you. We'll never be separated. And if she wants me to run away with her, don't you worry. You're coming with us. Oh, what a mess. Bertha on one side of me, Peg on the other. This is the tightest spot I'll ever be in.
Don't you believe it.
Oh, it's you?
Yes, it is I indeed. Digby Odell, the friendly undertaker. Greetings, Riley. Your look... Riley, please change the expression on your face. This is my day off.
I'm in big trouble, Digger. Women. I'm telling you, one of these days a woman will drive me to my grave.
Not if I'm around, she won't. I'll help you if you'll state your trouble, dear chum.
You see, Digger, I've got two women crazy about me. My wife and my old girlfriend, Bertha.
I was in a similar predicament once. Lovely damsels were always fighting for my affection. For instance, I remember one little lady. Whenever she saw me, she would immediately drop the man she was out with.
Oh, you like that, huh?
Not exactly. She was working for me as a pallbearer.
Well, we're both nice fellas, Digger. Why did we have to get such a rotten break and be so attractive to women?
That's our curse. We're charming and gay. I dislike a braggart, but frankly, when I meet a woman, I send her out of this world.
What'll I do, Digger? I know that Bertha won't give me up. I'm just too lovable, and I know she won't listen to reason. She's too stubborn.
Ah, yes, a stubborn person usually comes to a bad end. Take, for instance, my friend Timothy Groot. I wrote a little poem about him. I quote, Groot was stubborn. He wouldn't listen to reason. He wouldn't wear a coat in the cold winter season. Now, snug as a bug is my friend Groot, but instead of a coat, he wears a mahogany suit.
Well, this Bertha's over at the house now, I think. She wants to make Peg divorce me.
What? And you left those two women alone under the same roof?
Well, I couldn't face that Bertha. I ran away.
Oh, Riley, that was the coward's way. There is a saying that we don't like in my profession. He who fights and runs away lives.
Well, I can't go back home now. I just can't.
But think, man, those two women driven by passion, loving you, hating each other. Think what might happen.
Oh, Digger. Oh, Digger, what have I done? Why, Peg might... I gotta get home right away before it's too late. Come with me, Digger.
I'd better not. If they see me, it's liable to give them ideas. Well, cheerio. I'd better be shuffling off.
Well, the joke's on me. Here I rush out to stop you from taking off for Reno, and you...
Well, I'm afraid I'm stuck with Riley for life, but I like it.
But I still don't get it, Peg. All those awful things Riley said at the hotel, it don't make sense.
Oh, it makes sense if you know what goes on in that so-called brain of my husband. He actually thinks that you're still carrying the torch for him.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Why, I just wanted to look him up and say hello for old time's sake.
Oh, I know, Bertha. You don't have to explain. And it was sweet of you to be so concerned about us.
Oh, well, I hate to see couples split up. I'm sentimental about marriage. I cry every time I get married. You know, Peg,
Oh, what's the matter?
There's something pressing against my back behind the cushion here. Why, it's a gun.
Oh, don't be scared. It's only Junior's cap pistol.
Oh.
That's Riley's idea of a hiding place. Oh, here, give it to me. I'll put it away so...
Peg, Bertha. Peg! That gun! Peg! Don't shoot her! I ain't worth it!
Why, Riley!
Bertha, tell her you'll give me up. Peg, it ain't worth the chair. Don't do it. Wait a minute. Wait, I solved it. I'll live 6 months with each of you. Only don't pull the trigger, man.
honey, if you aren't.
This is Junior's cap pistol.
Wait a minute. Let me get this straight. Peg, you ain't going to shoot Bertha because she wants me?
If she wants you, she can have you.
Nothing doing, Peg. I've had 3 like him already.
But I thought Bertha was... You said she... Bertha, you mean I can stay with my sweet Peg and be happy like we've been?
Of course you can.
What a revolting development this is.